Real Nerds is a proud partner of the Denver Podcast Network. In the shadow of the mountains,
we speak.
Hello, everybody. I'm JD Lopez, the host of Left Hand Right Brain. It's a free-flowing, wide-ranging conversation that I have with artists doing interesting and creative things here in Denver and beyond. We talk about their personal stories, break down their creative process, and what motivates them. Spoiler alert, it's mostly spite. We talk about all these things and more while kicking back, cracking wise, and always having a good time. You can find old episodes and everything you need to know at lefthandrightbrainpod.com.
Oh, hi, podcast listeners. There's many ways you can listen to the Real Nerds podcast. You can subscribe on iTunes. You can also subscribe on Stitcher Radio. You want to send us a Twitter message? You can do that. It's so easy, at Real Nerds. Like us on Facebook, Real Nerds Podcast. You can visit our website, realnerdspodcast.com, where there'll be a lot of articles for you to not only read, but to listen to our previous shows. You can also call us, 720-6nerds5. Thanks for listening, and enjoy the show.
This is TJ Carter from the Average Joe Geek Show, and you're listening to the Real Nerds Podcast.
Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast, unofficially the official podcast of Denver Pop Culture Con, which is happening. See? You didn't even know what I was going to say. And he messed it up.
Yep.
Just like Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, bother.
Yes. Jim Cummings, you're on the podcast?
Oh, now he's leaving. Thanks for coming, Jim.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. Thanks for saying that one line. Now get the fuck out of here.
Why'd you have to scare him?
Make sure Jordan doesn't hit you on the way out.
It's unfortunate that we need to pay his full 12-hour day rate for this, but
damn it, he is part of the union. Yeah, Pop Culture Con is next this week. It's 3 days away. You can see us live on Saturday at 5:20 in room 502. We'll be celebrating 1989. It's going to be fun.
If you missed out on the year, we'll get you caught up.
We will. Yeah. And then we'll also be doing some panels. I'm doing a panel every day with some celebrity. We haven't decided who's doing the one that overlaps with one of my panels, but I think Brad will probably end up doing it.
Nope.
And you should also stop by our booth. We have con-exclusive pint glasses. We also have a shirt Zach is wearing that nobody can see. You can also pick that up there as well.
we'll be selling me for auction.
And we'll be selling Henry for
auction.
auction. Hopefully we'll get, like the Bluths in their
I hope so.
auction.
I just want to
from fucking Arrested
go for more
Development,
than $10.
third one.
So
golly, that's a deep cut.
$11 sold.
I mean, listen, that's my goal. So
Just be Lucille too, and you're good to go. That is a deep cut. I'm so full of pop culture references. That's probably why I'm entrusted by Denver Pop Culture Con to do celebrity panels.
Brag.
Yeah. Actually, I'm kind of proud of that we get. I don't post on the Facebook thing that often, but there's some people on the Facebook media credentialed that said, has anybody got panels yet? They haven't contacted us. And I'm sitting here over, I'm like, no. And
that's too bad.
That's too bad, but it is really kind of cool that they do seek me out. And I've never actually seen a panel I've moderated until this last year when they posted them, and I'm like, I'm actually kind of good in them. And I said, man, I kind of tear it up. And I did the one with
Bonnie Wright.
Bonnie Wright, and she loved me.
And then the Power Ranger one, which is fun to watch.
That one is fun to watch. Bonnie Wright loved me. She was really nice, and they were freaking out. They didn't know if I was going to make it. So last year I got to the theater like 3 minutes before the panel started because I was doing one panel. I literally had to go from one side of the convention to the other on a Saturday. And I didn't go through like the green room or like the elevator. I went through the theater, jumped on the stage, and walked in the back. And the lady's like, "Oh my God, you're here!" I said, "Let me tell you something. If I'm scheduled, I will be here. I am on so many panels. I promise I'll be here." And Bonnie Wright told me I was brilliant.
Brian, what's that on your shoulder? I think it might be dirt. I want to brush that off your shoulder.
Thank you. She's really pretty too.
I guess I can't host any of them because I should probably be there filming them for us.
Yeah, that'd be nice, but
So.
it's all right. No worries. I mean, they are. I'm there, and that's all that matters.
And they probably have a video crew that they hire.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, but then they only post the ones they want to post, and
Which all mine did show up last year.
Mine showed up too.
Yeah.
We could just forget about that
I
one.
know you did fine.
I know we did fine, but
You know, the only ones I wish they did is they don't film in the Metropolis one, and the dude who played Chewbacca, that was probably the best panel I did, because he was so funny and so nice, and he called his little baby son while we were there, because he was born only like a month before he came out to Denver Comic-Con.
Yeah.
You know, I know that they're reached out. I wonder if the studio has anything to do with it, because it was before Solo came out, correct? Or was it right after?
that was the same summer.
Yeah, so it was like right after Solo
it was
came
right
out.
after
Probably
Solo.
right.
And I'm guessing maybe they're saying you need to go out there and promote this movie or something. And but he was super nice, and he was really funny. He's one of my favorite ones I've ever done. That because I also learned that Harrison Ford actually almost died on the set, because I only heard that he hurt his leg, and Jonas told me that he almost died.
He doesn't have to worry though. That's like the umpteenth time he's almost died doing
Yeah.
something.
Oh, I mean, he crashed a plane on a golf course.
But I mean, he walked away like a badass. But still, like,
Yeah.
he almost died.
Yeah. Harrison Ford, the man, the myth, legend. Did you know in 1989 he starred in a film,
I did.
probably one of the greatest action adventure films of all time?
Yeah, we'll probably talk
Witness.
about it on Saturday.
We should. Witness.
My favorite action scene is that sponge bath.
I mean, I think that's 4 years too. Was it 85 Witness? Was that 85?
85, yeah.
Yeah.
You come to Real Nerds Podcast for movie trivia. I got it in spades. We also talk about what movies we've been watching, movies that are coming out on Blu-ray, and movie news.
And we also talk about movies that have barn raising sequences in them.
Yes, and the Amish they need their props. We also see a new movie every week, and we podcast our experience of the world. This week we saw Brightburn. So stay tuned to the end of the show where we will tell you if you should see the film or not, play the trailer,
And Booksmart.
and Booksmart. Are we going to do
I saw Booksmart, right?
I didn't see Brightburn, but I saw Booksmart.
So we're going to do a double feature this week.
That's cool. We haven't
So-
done the one of those in a while.
Yeah, so Booksmart and Brightburn, two very different films, and so stay tuned for that.
What was that one part in the movie where Brightburn had to get to his high school graduation on time? So,
Yes.
it's a scene not many people noticed in Brightburn, but it's there.
So we're going to start off the show how I like to start it off every week, going around town with my buddy Brad in his sidecar that is attached to his moped. You can ride with
Wait.
Brad in a sidecar.
Who's driving the motorcycle? Oh, you're in the sidecar.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You can ride in a sidecar with Brad's on his moped. Going to the drive-in, getting some jujubes.
Hey, film buddies, follow me around Denver.
That's a really old candy.
Yeah, do they have that anymore?
And it makes you feel like your
Getting
teeth are going to
some
be pulled off.
Junior mints, yeah. You look deep in Brad's eyes, and you notice that Tony Stark is on the screen. And he's dead. And he's dead.
Oh, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, dead.
Hashtag RIP.
It's been a month.
Yeah. 5 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only 100 away.
Yeah, it's not going to make it. I still think it's bullshit. Like, I was looking at the foreign totals. I think the totals for Avatar are bullshit. Because Endgame made $400 million more in China. So, and it didn't catch up to anywhere else. Like in Japan, Endgame hasn't made as much as Avatar by like 40 million. I'm pretty sure Avatar's lying somewhere. I felt like how Titanic is lying. Mm-hmm. Someone's like, it doesn't make sense to me.
I think it will eventually cross it.
Do you think?
But I think it'll be like barely. Like, because I think it made like, what, 20 million this weekend, I think?
15.
Yeah.
15, yeah.
But that was
Well,
domestic,
20
so-
with Monday's grosses.
Yeah. So if you like kind of just like look at the following weekends, as long as it keeps making like 5 million for a while, we'll get there eventually.
I hope. Well, it only made like 15 million from international markets last week.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. We'll
I
see.
think it's going to have longer legs than we'd think it would have.
Brad, just gonna see it a couple more times.
I don't know, because so next week there's 3 movies being released. The week after there's 2 movies nationwide.
Yeah.
I think eventually it's just. I think if it came out during Christmas time, it probably would have.
Yeah.
Because there would have been nothing else to
Yeah.
put up against.
I think like if it's not at, cause it's like a 2.78 is what needs to pass,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. If it's not at 2. It needs 100 more. So if it's not at like 50 million away by Spider-Man, then it's done. But I think it could do it, I think.
I hope it does.
Yeah.
Anyways, Brad, what's happening around town? Go see Endgame.
You can't watch Endgame at the drive-in anymore. It's now, the lineup is Detective Pikachu, Aladdin, and The Hustle.
Oh,
Yeah.
So,
a little more kid-friendly.
Yeah.
yeah.
Fun little lineup there.
Give them some time at the drive-in. So, yeah, that's about it. Then
Cool.
everything else to look forward to this week is a Denver Pop Culture Con. So,
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Esquire
Yeah.
still shut down.
Huh?
Esquire still shut down.
Yeah. The Cherry Creek is open again, though, as a
Yeah.
dining theater. So,
Yeah. I used to work there, so you can go check that out and see how much it's changed.
Ask for Zach when you go.
and they'll
Who?
say who?
yeah, Esquire still haven't heard any updates. Kind of spooky.
Oh, they'll figure it out.
But,
Maybe the mob runs it now.
Oh, shit.
at Denver Pop Culture
You mean
Con,
like
I'm trying to figure out if I want to spend like $180, I think, to get a photo with Tom Wilson, Christopher Lloyd, and the DeLorean together.
It's 108. Do you get a signature as well?
No, I think it's just the photo op.
It's 180.
I think so. Maybe it's just 80.
I say that's a really Jason Momoa is like $100.
Yeah, but he's also not like 80 years old, so there's like more opportunities to see him.
When I got Stan Lee, his $100 for his autograph. And you think Christopher
you'd-
Lloyd charges more?
Yeah, he's not. He didn't create Marvel, so
Okay. Well, you know what, Brad? What I always say is, what you guys said to me is, are you ever going to see him again? And then, I was like,
that's why I'm only considering it.
Yeah.
Because, like, how many more chances?
because you guys talked me into Stan Lee. I'm like, I'm spending $100 for this autograph, and then he told me thanks for being a true believer, and he died 2 years later. So
Maybe I'll just bring $200 cash on me so I can decide at the last minute.
that's a good idea.
Yeah. So
like, well, it's already out of the account.
if you see me walking around the con, just know that I have $200 in cash in my pocket.
Well, actually, stop by our booth, buy our merchandise, so Brad can just use that money
Please fund my picture.
so he can go over there and pay for it.
I don't want to reimburse myself for the cost of the product. I just want to get a photo with Christopher Lloyd.
God, now that I'm thinking about it, it would be genius to mug everyone at Comic-Con. There's so much money, cash, just handing out there.
Well, if we sell all the glasses, I mean, you should make money off of that, right?
You'd think.
Well, there's 6 something each.
Shut up. Don't tell them how much it actually
People
costs.
know. People know we have to.
They are beep much amount.
People know that we have to.
I'm just following the Alamo Drafthouse cost model.
Yeah.
I don't know how much they probably, they can order thousands of them, so I'm sure their cost per glass is way cheaper than ours. Like we only have 48, so
Well, you're supporting a local independent podcast. That
yeah, you can cover our internet costs.
yeah, our internet costs and our domain.
Our glasses are homegrown.
Yes.
So,
Each one is made by hand, sand melted, shaped
in our
into a
hands.
fine
It's okay, Brett. Everybody knows it's like American Pickers.
Each
If I
logo-
pick something for $5, I know I'm going to sell it for $10 because I need to make money off of it.
Each logo is meticulously painted by hand.
Yes.
This is too hard. I'm just going to take a
By
cardboard,
my son.
I'm just going to take a cardboard sign, stand outside the con, and say "Need food for podcast," and then the money will roll in, guys.
With a paintbrush made from true stallion horsehair.
Yes, stallion.
What kind of stallion? The best stallion,
I don't know any horse breeds.
the black stallion.
Clydesdale.
Yep.
Yep,
There you go.
That's
Clydesdale.
one.
There we go.
That's the one I know. So
Thickest,
did it.
most luxurious horsehair.
There's horse people like there's movie people. You notice that if people like horses, they really like horses.
My sister's one of them.
welcome
Yeah?
to the Real
Yeah.
Horse
Does she
Podcast.
own horses?
She did
So-
for a hot minute.
Okay,
She
so let
was-
me ask you a question, Zach.
Yeah,
Why
sure.
do people like horses?
For my sister, I think it was just like a nice confidence builder because she did English bareback, and she did it for years. And
She likes that English bareback, does she?
Here's the thing. Horses are very muscular. Horses also have giant cocks.
So
I
that's
think
why
there's-
Zach's sister
I
really
think there's a
liked it.
subliminal
Oh,
thing
God.
going on.
I'm so happy my sister doesn't.
Let's
listen to
make
this
Zach
show.
more uncomfortable on this podcast. So Zach, what is it about horses that your sister likes?
She
the
just she likes-
muscles or the big throbbing cock? Sorry, James' mom.
Oh my God! We not only offended my sister, we offended James' mom in one sentence. Bam, that's a
You know what?
twofer.
And I haven't done a horse raping joke
we
in
haven't
a
done a horse
really long
collection.
time.
No wonder our numbers are down.
Yeah, damn.
You know what it's gonna say in the Wikipedia page for Real Nerds Podcast is like known for movie reviews and horse cock jokes.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're
Can I
back,
be-
boys.
Can I be Horsecock Johnson? So, yep. That derailed it. Hey,
Yeah.
Corinne watched a classic movie this week.
Oh,
this
thank
is
God.
Catching the Classics with Corinne.
Hey nerds, Corinne here for part 20.4 of Catching the Classics, which is actually part 4 of Catching the Miyazaki Classics, where I'm going through all 11 of the films directed by Hayao Miyazaki. This week I'm going to be talking about Spirited Away, which is one of the Miyazaki films I had seen previously, but it had been a while. I think I watched it when I was in college as part of an Eastern religion or Eastern civilization class, and we did watch the Japanese dub. I feel like we had some kind of a long discussion about, oh, let's watch it in Japanese. No, we should watch it in English. No, we should watch it in Japanese. So I think we ended up watching the Japanese dub, or sorry, the Japanese voice version. So yeah, so this is the film, I believe it was 2002 that won for Best Animated Picture. I think it's one of the only Miyazaki movies that's won anything at the Oscars. So it's, this is such a difficult film to talk about because I remember hearing a lot of things about it when I was growing up, and it just has such a hype to it. Partly, I think, because it won for Best Animated Picture, and also because people consider it the best of Hayao Miyazaki's movies. And I don't know if I would say it's the best. It's definitely in the upper tier of his movies that I've seen, and I think I'm only missing 2 right now that I've never seen yet, but I'll watch for the series. So, alright, let me just give you a quick synopsis. Minor spoilers ahead. So, Spirited Away is about a girl, Chihiro, and her parents are moving to this new town, and while they're driving into this town, they get sidetracked, and they wind up at this abandoned amusement park. And they're looking around, and Chihiro is very scared and kind of cowardly, and she's like, she doesn't want to be there, she wants to go back, and the parents are like, don't be such a scaredy cat, like, come on, it'll be fine. And her parents start eating this food, and before you know it, like, Chihiro starts seeing all these, like, weird, like, shadowy looking spirits walking around, and she's like, wait, what's going on? And so she goes back, and her parents have turned into pigs. And so she finds out she's somehow crossed over into the world of the spirits, and she hangs out there. She ends up getting a job at this bathhouse for the spirits. They come in and take baths. You know, it's like a Japanese bathhouse, which is basically kind of like a spa, or at least that's what it seems like from the way they portray it. I mean, there's a little bit differences to it, but it's kind of like a spa sort of thing. But yeah, so that's basically the story, is that Chihiro is trying to figure out how to save her parents from being pigs and get back to the human world. And she's got allies and friends that she makes along the way. I guess I remember watching it, and I went for the first time back in college and thinking, like, this is a good movie, but I guess I didn't really get where the hype was coming from. Like, why do people think this is the best Miyazaki movie? Like, why do people love it so much? Like, it's a great film, but, like, everybody acts like it's the best thing since sliced bread. And again, it's a great movie. And I think I appreciated it more this time around because, I don't know, maybe I had, like, lowered my expectations or something, but I was not, I don't know. I had a lot more fun with it, and I just saw, like, how well made this film is. It just puts you right into the story. Like, there's very little time with setup. There's very little time with, like, character introductions or anything. Like, you know, it's like the whole first sequence is Chihiro and her parents driving into the town. Like, you don't see her move away. You don't, you know, it's succinct, very succinct. And it's almost self-contained in that way because you see them driving into town, they go to the amusement park, and then they seemingly stay there the whole time in this, I mean, on the spirit world side of it, and then when they leave, spoilers, at the end when they get out, and they leave the amusement park, and that's the last we see of them, is them driving away. So, yeah, we don't get to see anything in Chihiro's life before, we don't get to see anything in her life after. It's all kind of self-contained within this little adventure that she goes on. And it's a really well-made film. It has a great message, and I think you really do see Chihiro's transformation. The end is very good in showing you the difference between how she was so scared the first time, and then when she's leaving at the end with her parents, she's not afraid anymore. Like, she's already faced so many different challenges and obstacles that she's had to overcome, and she's, yeah, maybe not a different person, but she's definitely grown and matured because she's had to face those obstacles pretty much on her own and overcome them. So, two things I want to say. Number one, I feel like the animation was a little bit different in this movie. That's one thing I do. I love the Hayao Miyazaki movies. I love Studio Ghibli films. I think if I had one criticism of them, it's that the animation always looks too similar. And I know that that's just the style, but I mean, you look at the Disney movies and the style across Disney movies, even if you just narrowed it down to a time frame within 10 years, you know, yes, there are some things that look similar, but typically there are enough differences where you can tell, like, each film has, like, a distinct look and animation feel to it, whereas each of these Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli films feel very similar, and the people look very similar, and the world looks very similar, and but for this reason, or for some reason, I don't know, it was, you know, very Studio Ghibli, but I think there was just something about the way it was done that it felt a little bit different, not too much, but enough that, I don't know, like, the people looked a little bit different, the world was, I think it was maybe more because it's on, like, the quote spiritual side of it, where it's like spirits and monsters and demons and magic and things like that, versus flying and crystals and I don't know how to explain it. I just felt like things moved a little bit differently, looked a little bit differently, so I appreciated that. Number two, the voice cast for this movie is absolutely tremendous. I looked them up earlier, and I recognize some of the voices. The lady who plays Lynn, which is one of Chihiro's friends that she makes in the spirit world, is Susan Egan, who plays Meg in Hercules, who is also in Porco Rosso. She plays Porco's love interest, Gina. And Jason Marsden, who I'm like, I don't recognize the name, but the voice, I was like, yeah, I definitely know that voice. He's been in a lot of stuff, but I think the thing he might be the most well known for is Max from a Goofy movie. And it looks like they got an actual, like, young girl to voice Chihiro. She's obviously older now because the movie came out in 2002, but she probably would have been like 8, 9, or 10 about the time it came out, so that's good. Sometimes, as I said with Castle in the Sky, you know, sometimes it's really annoying when you have grown adults voicing, you know, these roles that are supposed to be, you know, kids who are 10, 11, 12 years old. I think the MVP of the cast has to be Suzanne Pleshette. I think that's how you say her name, but she plays two twin sisters, Yubaba, who's Chihiro's employer in the spirit world, who's this very kind of grouchy old witch, and you know, you don't want to be on her bad side. And then Yubaba's twin sister, Zeniba, who's the complete opposite. She's like so nice, and she's like, Chihiro, you can call me Granny, and You're just like, oh, Zaniba. Like, she's just so cute. And they look identical, but it's so nice that she does a great job of getting across their different personalities just through her voice performance. And so, props to her. Props to everybody from this voice cast. They just... tremendous job. So, I wouldn't say Spirited Away is my favorite Miyazaki movie, but I definitely understand why it gets the hype that it does, whereas, like I said, when I watched it the first time in college, it just didn't really click with me, I guess, that I was like, I don't get it, like, what's the big deal, it's a fine movie, but now I'm like, I kind of get why people love this movie so much. It's really good, and it's really well done, it's fun, it's got great messages, it's got very interesting visuals and a very compelling and succinct story. So I would check it out. If you've never seen any of Miyazaki's movies, I would say this is one of the first ones you should see because it is good. So I'm going to give Spirited Away, I'm going to give it an A. Again, not my favorite, and I don't know if I would say it's his best one, but it's definitely up there. I'd say it's maybe his second best film that I've seen, and it might be my third favorite, maybe my fourth. I don't know. Yeah, probably my third, so sorry. I always rant on these things, and I apologize, but... hope you all had fun at your movie this week, and I will talk to you next time when I review Princess Mononoke. Yeah, that's one of the ones I own, so that'll be a little bit switching it up. Okay, talk to you all soon. Bye.
So if you don't know, Corinne is now an actual official contributor, too, on Real Nerds Podcast. You can see articles she's been writing about the Blacklist. Still don't understand the show. She's been writing, I think, 5-6 articles on it. And I read it. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? I hate this fucking show, and I've never seen it. And don't worry about rambling, Corinne, because we have Zach on our show, so we are used to ramblers.
I'm the original rambler.
And listen, there's a lot of con news coming up, so that you're going to get to hear me ramble about that for a little bit.
Exactly.
So it's going to be great.
That's
It's
if
all
I
right.
put it in the news segment.
You know what? If you ramble about something you're passionate about, it's okay. I have no problem with it. It's insightful, and it reminds me that I haven't seen Spirited Away in 16 years. So,
I haven't watched it recently, but my mom took me and my sister to see it in the theater after it won the Oscar.
because there's a horse, right?
It's so good.
I'm pretty sure that movie does involve a relationship between a girl and a dragon. So
Yeah.
Yeah, but
horse.
But anyway, no.
it's
But
a horse with wings.
Yeah.
we
A scaly horse.
we like the movie as a family, despite there not being.
Or is it the Pete Dragon that was like hairy?
That's a good point.
See?
That's a good point.
You're all wonderful.
That's
people.
kind of close. That is closer to a horse. So.
Yes. Yes. See, now you're picking up what I'm putting down.
So anyway, Spirited Away.
Spirited Away. Thanks, Corinne. We appreciate you contributing vocally and wordily.
Literally? Oh, literally? Oh, hey, it's a fun pun I made.
Yeah.
Up.
That could be a
say boss
synonym.
wordly, it's a
Synonym.
Yeah.
Synonym.
Literarily?
Literarily?
cinnamon buns.
I don't know.
Word-
I'm a
word
cop. I'm
processor-ly?
stupid.
I graduate next year. I should know better.
Yeah.
Don't worry, boss. You speaks English good, I reckons.
Man, I've been gone for 2 weeks. I hate when I miss 2 weeks in a row.
You got a lot to talk about.
I know.
I know.
I just, when I miss 2 weeks in a row, the show lags. I mean, someone sent a thing that they feel like I'm the soul of the show, and I kind of believe that. You need me to pick you up. Love lift us up where we belong.
Should we read that thing about what someone listened to the show and thought our voices matched to who?
I don't know. Are we supposed to share that?
I thought it was funny.
It's funny, but is that something we should share without someone's prior knowledge?
Maybe not.
Yeah. Well,
Damn it.
You know what, Corinne, ask your friend if we can share what he thought, who was who on it, and yep.
Listen next week, I
Look
guess.
at next week.
I mean, I'll be honest. When I started listening, before I was even on or whatever, because it was just like the drawing of the three of you, I thought that James's voice belonged to Brad's body and Brad's voice belonged to James's body.
That's what this person said.
That's what I thought.
But I'm always so unique. Everyone knows. I mean, I was stopped at the Nintendo quiz and said I'm a huge fan, and he just recognized my voice, and I said perfect.
With your singing voice, you are the Joe Cocker of podcasting.
Thank you, thank you.
Now
If
I
I
know
have to
what
hear
that
Yo
is.
Tama Bien one more time, I'm gonna burn this place to the fucking ground. It's maybe one of my favorite lines ever in a movie. Delivered by Paul Rudd, 40-year-old virgin.
Haha.
It's a great movie.
It is Michael McDonald, not Joe Cocker.
It is
yeah.
Michael McDonald.
Yeah.
But same thing. They both sing like this here. Hey, movie news happened this week in a segment we call Real News.
It's real news.
See, a movie reel is spelled R-E-E-L. So when we say real news, it's R-E-E-L. It's kind of like MTV News in the 90s, and you had to find out if Courtney Cox was still dating some guy when she was on Friends.
A horse.
Yes.
I bet no one's ever used real to mean real
Probably not.
for any kind of topic.
Probably
ever.
not. We're probably the first
Yeah.
and the greatest. We were able to overcome the one dude who told us how stupid we were at Mile High Horror Fest 8 years ago. So we've been able to endure.
We took it back. It's ours.
Yep. We took it back. I like that.
7 years later, he's just like, "Aw, man."
Like the Bare Naked Ladies song, We Took the Night. Yes. It's a great song. It's off their latest album, Fake Nudes. You should check it out.
Nice.
Came out last year. I think Friday they're releasing an acoustic version of that album.
Cool.
Well,
Yeah.
anyway,
There's some music
movie
news
news.
for
Yeah,
you.
we've got some trailers and teasers. Really, the big one's probably Terminator: Dark Fate.
Yep.
I like the part where the Terminators came up.
Brad really liked the part when the logo came up.
Yeah. But
It's a
typography's
teaser
really
trailer,
good.
so they really can't.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
figured.
It looked pretty. So,
Yeah. It's cool to see Sarah Connor back.
Arnold looks like he's hanging out in the cabin, so
But
he's
even-
probably teaming up with Dexter from the series finale of Dexter. So.
Yeah.
But even if you're teasing it, you should show something that shows that it's different and new. And I felt like I was watching Salvation and Genesis as a single movie.
It seems like this is connected to Genesis, even though they're trying to say it's something completely different. But maybe it's.
I
just
heard
me.
it's a direct sequel to T2. They're ignoring Terminator 3 and everything.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because I remember in Terminator 3, Sarah Connor is dead.
right. So
I think Terminator 3 is pretty good, too.
yeah, it's fine. It's a movie. But yeah, no, it looked fun. I liked watching Linda Hamilton do things. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
So, but then we also got a teaser for Star Trek Picard, the CBS All Access show, which
Meh.
How
dare you.
We get it. You're not cool enough to like Trek. We get it.
I like the movies. My favorite is number 5.
Does this one have Benedict Cumberbatch in it?
No. You're thinking of Into Darkness, which is which then inspired the film Wrath
superior
of Khan.
Benedict
think we should-
Cumberbatch always looks like he's allergic to shrimp.
I heard he looks like an otter.
It's a great insult, Ryan. You look like you're allergic to shrimp.
You know what? If they ever decide to roast Cumberbatch, we're calling you.
Shreem.
But it wasn't much of a teaser, though. It was it was a teaser, really, in the biggest sense of the word. But it just shows footage of going through the Picard vineyard, and
I don't remember what happens to Picard at the end of his run in Star Trek. Doesn't he die?
No, I guess the real last.
would be Nemesis.
No, All Good Things, because it shows him in the vineyard when he's retired.
Right.
Nemesis is just kind of like, well, a bunch of my crewmen left to go do their own things, and I'm still on the Enterprise.
Yeah.
But All Good Things shows his retirement, which is him coming out of retirement.
So does Nemesis take place before this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But also, like, All Good Things is kind of a Q instigated mystery.
Yeah.
So his future could also not even be that.
Right. It's just if it's anything, it's probably going to continue off of that and ignore the movies for the most part. But
Yeah.
who knows?
But the premise is he was an admiral, and then he stopped being an admiral in Starfleet, and we're going to find out why.
Yeah, and then they're going to need him back for something.
Are you not excited for the show, Brad? It seems like it'd be something you'd like.
It's such a risky thing to do, and also for years they were talking about doing a Captain Worf series.
# we want Worf.
So I bet Michael Dorn's probably a little annoyed right now that they're not. But also, it's the first Star Trek series to focus on a single character. Like I thought the title Star Trek Picard was kind of lazy.
Yeah.
And is this going to be just like a mini series, or is they hoping to stretch it into?
Well, like I think Discovery is like 15 episodes max, 12 maybe. So I think it's probably the same thing where it's a short.
It's a short season that they can hopefully keep doing. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it at some point, but like, there's enough content on CBS All Access at that point that I'll probably give them a try. But I really don't like the idea of paying for ads to stream something that's costing me money on top of that. So,
I mean, he probably stopped because he's old. That's why most people retire.
listen, I'm fucking tired. Can you please just let me sit and drink wine in peace?
That's not a very good Picard.
I don't care.
Work on it.
I don't care. Also, you don't watch the show that often, so how do you know?
I know Patrick Stewart. I've watched X-Men.
1 and 2.
and
Logan.
Last Stand and Logan.
And then Logan, yeah. And I'm sure you watched other
He
Patrick
was in
Stewart
Days of
things.
Future
You've
Past.
seen
Future
Masterminds?
Oh yeah, I've seen Patrick Stewart in lots of things.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, so we're going to get those things.
He was in The Kid Who Would Be King.
That is true.
That's right. I want to watch that. It's Stuart Cornish.
He's really good in that.
It's Stuart Cornish, right? The director?
It is.
All right, cool. Right on.
You should see it. It's a good movie.
Sweet.
Robin Hood Men in Tights.
He is
It
Robin
is
Hood
good
Men in
it's good to
Tights.
be the king, yeah.
From this day forth, it'll be toilets will be known as
Green Room.
John's.
Green Room, that's
Green
right.
Room, he's great
in
in
Green
Oh,
Room.
that's right.
Yeah. Scary in Green Room. But remember a trailer for Sonic that came out a couple weeks ago?
No.
And then they said they hated it so much they're going to change the look of Sonic the Hedgehog?
What? I loved it.
Well, apparently now that change is going to take so long that they're pushing the movie back to 2020. So
I didn't know Ben Schwartz was the voice of Sonic. That kind of makes me want to see it.
I know.
Because I want him to go, I'm fast as hell, as he's running. I would put that in the movie
If the
just because it'd be awesome.
If the trailer's any indication, I don't think he's going to be
S
doing
to
any...
the O to the N, I see.
I know
I'm the fastest blue hedgehog in all of San Francisco City.
I mean, you and I want the same things here. I don't think we're going to get it, sadly, but
I know.
it's a good idea.
Ja boy's question on the bar.
But yeah, so we'll see what they end up doing with the Sonic movie when it comes out in 2020. Hopefully, they can also make any other
I
corrections.
mean, it's weird that they're moving it that far because it kind of eliminates the chance of being an Oscar film.
It does.
Oh yeah, Oscar movies don't come out in March or April.
So
or
do you
anything
think
like
they're
that.
just going to make him look like a cartoon Sonic from the games?
I thought they said they were just removing the teeth.
Knocking his teeth out.
Yeah,
They gotta
like-
fix his eyes though.
Yeah, it just looks it looks weird.
Yeah.
Like his body looks weird too.
Like I think they can leave the fur. I think it's just they need to shape the eyes more traditional
it just
and
looks
take
weird.
out his teeth.
Yeah, it just looks weird.
The behind the scenes photo of that is just them knocking out his teeth with a baseball bat.
I saw a trailer for that before Booksmart? No.
Is Sonic in front of Booksmart?
When did I saw it this week?
Brightburn?
Was
It's
it Brightburn?
equally as horrifying.
What did I see this week?
James Gunn's produced.
Aladdin.
Oh no, I saw it before. I think I saw it before John Wick.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, I think I saw it before John Wick.
Interesting choices.
So I had to bring up my activity on Letterboxd. I've seen a lot of movies.
Before you watch people get hatchets in the face, watch this fun, delightful trailer for a child's movie.
I mean, the problem with that movie, though, is that it's not what he looks like. It's everything else.
Yeah.
Like,
You know, yeah.
Looks like they're just driving through Alabama.
Yeah, and they're trying really hard. Say, oh, we got Jim Carrey, and Jim Carrey hasn't been funny since Ace Ventura.
well, I
so.
can probably guarantee you that Sonic the actual Hedgehog will appear in probably 25% or less of the film. Because like, they're probably just going to figure out a way to not animate him most part. That's why he's in the bag for like that one scene.
Yeah.
And so they're just gonna work around so it's just James Marston being the hero taking out Eggman. And so
also, he was good in Burt Wonderstone, so
yeah.
he's not
Marston
the most
was
important
good.
part of the film.
Yeah,
but-
that's probably why he's getting it.
yeah. A Rambo 5 trailer leaked also, but it was taken off quickly. Did you guys catch it?
Well, you're not. You shouldn't support it because it's not the official release, Zach.
Oh, shut up.
You should support the artists.
Oh, shut up.
You know, why you showing my trailer that's not beneficial to Reese,
Because I need to be convinced.
There will
Because
be
I don't
blood,
think we need- Because I don't know if we need a Rambo 5, and I need to be convinced, Mr. Stallone.
There needs to be a Rambo 5.
It looks
Do you remember in Rambo 4 when he jumped up on the back of the Jeep and annihilated that dude with the Gatling gun? I need to see that again.
I don't, because I haven't seen that movie in a while. So
Well, I think you're clearly forgetting the end of Rambo 4 where he's like, you should see me again in Rambo 5 coming out in 2019.
They might have drawn First Blood, but I'm going to draw Last Blood.
and then you can see me in Creed 3.
I actually think that's
Creed
a badass
4.
title, too.
Well, the problem
Rambo,
with,
the Last Blood.
the
That's
problem with
pretty
it is that
fucking
has
badass.
to be the last one. Like, they can't go. They
Yeah.
can't be like, the second
No,
Last
no, it doesn't,
Blood.
because they had the First Blood Part 2. It can be the Last Blood Part 2.
You're right, what was I thinking?
The lastest blood.
I am pretty much on a roll when it comes to movie titles.
Yeah. You see, this is why you work as an executive producer and I don't. So
That is true. Your title for The Collector 3 is the actual title.
Yeah,
so.
I did say that a week before the film came out.
Yeah.
Once again, proving that Lionsgate Films listens to this podcast.
Yeah. If they're listening to it, please release some of your back catalog to Scream Factory.
they're not going to listen to you. They'll only listen to Ryan.
Yeah. Please release some of your back catalog.
I think Lionsgate does own the Rambo stuff.
They do. See? I told them it's a great idea.
It's all connected.
Yep. I want to see more people get bombed and killed running through a rice paddy. That's what I want to see in my life. And I want Rambo to go, you go there, you'll die. I want to see that stuff. I want to see Rambo kill people.
You going there to change things? You're changing nothing.
Yes. I'm going to watch Rambo fucking tonight.
What?
Yeah.
You want to watch Rambo? Well, you do have the Italian Stallion DVD, so.
Sylvester Stallone starring in Call Me By Your Name, too.
Oh, my God. Sylvester Stallone and Call Me By Your Name would be amazing. No, but the reason I bring that up is because he has an idea for another Rocky movie.
Nice.
To which I said, wait a minute. Let's think about this, because we have Creed 1 and 2, and I think we're doing okay. But this is idea for it, is I have a great idea for Rocky. He finds this fella in the country illegally, and it becomes a whole thing. It's like the magician who lost his tricks. You've seen everything, but what can be different? Throw him out of the country, he's in another world.
You can't say, it's the whole thing, when you describe a fucking plot.
See, here's the thing. You don't realize with Stallone, it's not the words he's saying. It's how he says them. It's a whole thing.
This guy Luke Skywalker goes up to a planet, and it's a whole thing, and that's a New Hope.
Indiana Jones, he goes looking for that ark, and it's a whole thing.
You know what people are tired of in Rocky? Boxing. Let's make a statement about immigration.
Whatever's clever for people, I guess.
Who should make the statement on immigration? Who would be the perfect nuanced voice for immigration? I know, Sylvester Stallone.
Because, when you build a wall, people have to climb it.
You find out about yourself.
What about our emails?
Taika Waititi's doing an Akira movie, and I guess I got a release date, so it's going to be coming out in 2021. Brad, you excited?
Wait, what?
Taika Waititi's doing an Akira movie.
Sweet.
I mean, it seems like a weird choice to do it, but I mean, sure, whatever.
Knowing how he honored Jack Kirby with the production design in Ragnarok, I think he would be a great choice to honor the source material.
They also hired the same guy who did the production design for Ragnarok.
And then, of course,
when
they just say, Akira, and then he can have some New Zealand character go, yeah, mate, we know who you are. Yeah, you said it a few times.
Gonna need you to give me your bike there.
Yeah.
Taking his bike. Oh, no. Your muscles are all growing.
Oh, he's back. He's back again.
He's getting larger there, mate. Okay, crush the entire city.
So, guys, we don't have to worry about Indiana Jones reboots because Harrison Ford says Indiana Jones dies with him.
Nice.
In a quote, he said, "Nobody is going to be Indiana Jones. Don't you get it? I'm Indiana Jones. When I'm gone, he's gone." So
he runs Paramount now? He gets to make those decisions?
Yeah, he did it after he crashed a plane into their studio. He just offered to buy the whole thing to make them forget it.
I'm pretty sure once Lucas, him, and Spielberg are gone, Paramount's going to start making some Indiana Jones movies.
Yeah.
Well, Lucas isn't going to die, so he'll still have some input somehow. It's like the Saw movies. He'll have letters placed all over the city of Los Angeles so that they'll pick them up and get new ideas for new Indiana Jones movies throughout the rest of history. It would be fun.
All right, and we're moving
I
along.
like this idea for the Saw remake with Chris Rock. Christopher
we
Roll.
talked about that last week.
Yeah.
All right.
I would love to know your thought on that. The Chris Rock Saw remake or reimagining, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, they've been making Saw movies for forever.
Yeah.
And I would say 10% of them
I
are
do
good.
like that.
So.
Because Danny McBride kind of brought this forefront. If you like something and you're famous enough, just make it.
Yeah.
Who cares?
We should start our own horror franchise called Screw.
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
Done.
Where
What
people
would be
just,
the plot?
Screw?
just a lot of like torture porn, but with screwdrivers.
Oh, I was thinking it's the plot
Done.
of Teeth, but instead of like teeth in your vagina, your dick is a screwdriver.
Oh.
All those mutilated vaginas.
Wow. Christopher Nolan's new movie's got a title. It's called Tenet, and they released the cast. It looks like Kenneth Branagh is coming back, along with Elizabeth Debicki, John David Washington, Robert Pattinson, and Michael Caine. So it'll be fun.
What's Robert Pattinson going to be in that everyone's all...
The Lighthouse?
The Lighthouse, yes.
We'll talk about that in a second. Don't worry.
Why are people so mad about Batman casting all the time? You know,
Because
Because he's a precious character.
you know that no one says anything when it's Spider-Man? Have you noticed that?
because they pick people who people can see being Spider-Man.
Do you not like Robert Pattinson as...
I just think, like, did you listen to last week's episode?
no. I've been working.
I was just tired of, with all the actors that are available out there, like, they keep picking people who are so controversial.
So who would you pick to be Batman?
Me.
Yeah, Henry. He's about the right age.
I think I could do it.
Totally.
Yeah, we can get a few movies, like 10 years worth of movies out of you.
I think so.
Actually, like, I didn't have a specific preference. I was just, if I did have to pick something, I thought, what's his name? Played the Lone Ranger.
Armie Hammer.
Armie Hammer.
That's stupid. He was already cast as it, and the movie got canceled.
Yeah, Justice League Mortal. But overall, it's like an unknown would be good. Like, because Christian Bale, when he got picked, like, he's the most recent one that hasn't been controversial. But he was relatively unknown because I think his biggest claim to fame was American Psycho before
Newsies?
Batman Begins.
Or The Machinist, too. Or he was just doing
I
The Machinist
would
with
not call The Machinist a claim to fame for him.
Actually, no, I'm sorry. I'm getting mixed up because he did The Machinist, and then right afterwards he had to bulk up for Batman. So
Yeah. But, like, Machinist wasn't, like, a well-known, like...
Do you think they purposely choose controversial people, or they just choose a person they think will be the best actor?
I have to think if it's Matt Reeves, he's choosing the person he thinks is best.
I think it's controversial. I think it's a free news story that gets the name out for hype.
I think it isn't, but just because, like, they've been through this so many times, part of your thought process would be like, okay, let's pick someone who we're not going to get backlash about, unless it is like, hey, we just want to generate buzz for this. But that seems like a really, like, short-sighted thing to do, because in the long run, you have to deliver that movie.
To be fair, what in the DC movies so far have you thought have been good long-run ideas? So,
well, the Nolan ones for, the
no,
short
I'm talking
time
about
they're-
this. I'm starting this new franchise we're in now, the DC.
Shazam.
Yeah, Wonder Woman and Shazam.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right.
Technically Aquaman.
I'll give you Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
I think Wonder Woman's great.
Yeah, Gal Gadot, like, she was controversial at the time, but she proved herself. Zachary Levi wasn't, but he fits
Because
that
no one
part
cares
really
about Shazam until the movie came out.
Yeah.
Because Shazam's not a big enough character. You can fly under the radar if the character isn't as big. I mean, 10 years ago, Iron Man was a C-level Marvel character. I mean, he's important. He's one of the first Avengers, but I mean,
Danny Jr. like made that important. Yeah.
I mean, or even look at like Guardians. Like,
oh, absolutely. And if you go back, it seems so weird now because RDJ is so big, but back then they had to beg the studio to let him be Tony Stark.
Yeah,
because
Favreau had to fight for him.
I mean, he was sober for I think 5 or 6 years after that, and he was slowly working his way back.
Right,
like
but
the Sundance scene, yeah.
But there wasn't, and there wasn't even a guarantee that he'd be a box office draw. So it was a gamble on a lot of aspects, not even just his sobriety.
And he's lucky too because
he's kind of if you read that big picture book, he's kind of the thing they kind of used as an insurance policy because like he was the bigger star out of anybody because Jeff Bridges wasn't even like into his like post.
I would say
Oscar.
Gwyneth Paltrow was probably the biggest star in that film.
She was the only Oscar winner. Well, Terrence Howard, I think.
Yeah,
he's won an Oscar, right?
No, Terrence Howard hasn't won. But but Gwyneth Paltrow hadn't really been doing much up until Iron Man, and then she kind of came back, and now she's doing good things.
Didn't she win an Oscar?
She did, but between Shakespeare in Love and Iron Man, she wasn't doing much.
I don't know. It sounds like Ryan knows what he's talking about.
So in 10 years, now I'm pretty sure she was still pretty popular.
You did just claim The Machinist was a claim to fame for.
That is true.
Let's bring up her IMDb. I'm pretty sure she was pretty active after Shakespeare in Love.
I mean,
They
it's
did
also, if you want to look at
Bounce, I think she made Bounce. Or
She did make Bounce,
with Sliding Doors,
Sliding Doors, duets.
How many of them were making hundreds of millions of dollars at the box office?
No, she does. She doesn't make those kind of movies though.
Yeah.
So what did you think it was sellable though? But anyway, I mean,
She's just known because you can always put Oscar winner Gwyneth Paltrow on the poster.
Yeah.
that is true. And I guess you could put the Big Lebowski's Jeff Bridges on the poster as well. Oh God, they should have done that.
I mean, it's also, I mean, just looking, we're going to get an Eternals film next year. Like,
And
So
Captain
weird.
Marvel's even become like oddly a point of discussion with people now since the movie came out. Like nobody was talking about Captain Marvel prior to that movie coming out.
I would say people were. Like,
I didn't see anything on
So
Facebook.
she kind of became like a feminist, like huge deal because she went from Ms. Marvel to Captain Marvel, the most powerful being in Marvel Universe.
I would say like that transition is when she became.
I mean, it's her first appearance is the comic of mine that's worth the most money.
Oh, really?
And that just happens to be an Avenging Spider-Man #8
Yeah.
that I just got because it's Spider-Man and his print run was so low that it's selling on eBay for like $900.
All my valuable comics are Captain Marvel or Miss Marvel comics.
Yeah.
Because I remember I got them, I think the first year we went to Comic-Con, I was like, these are going to be worth a lot. So seeing so much stack up.
Miss
so.
Marvel, love it.
View from the Top, Sylvia, Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow.
Oh, well, there it is. That's her big hit.
Yeah, exactly. That's the one that made
I
tons
like
of
Sky
money.
Captain.
Running with Scissors, which is a good movie, but it didn't make a lot of money. So, but yeah. Anyway, the last thing is we're getting a Quiet Place sequel 2 months earlier.
Yep.
So,
They can churn out horror films fast.
I haven't gotten a plot synopsis
Except for
it
fucking
yet.
Friday the 13th.
You know what's funny though? 2 years ago, we had a teaser trailer for it pretty early for the first one because I think they were putting it in festival still. For this one, we're probably not going to get a teaser until January.
No,
So-
they'll probably release it. They're not going to do festivals with this one because it's
no
popular
way.
now.
Oh yeah,
so.
it's already a guaranteed success.
Are they calling it A Quiet Place 2 or just A Quieter Place?
Just as Quiet Place 2.
Or a Quiet Placer.
Quiet Place with a Vengeance.
This time more place.
Live
People
freer,
want
Quiet Place.
Friday the 13th stuff so bad. There's this one that's like a crowd-funded like Revenge of Jason. I forget what it's called. And I was like, this looks pretty badass. And every time I see Jason moving those goes, I go, nope, don't like that. He has to be so unique. And it's like, yeah, I don't know. Way off topic, but I just miss Jason. He needs to be in like the big screen and have like a great actor like Derek Mears play him.
That time will come. I mean, with all the remakes we're getting right now, I'm sure that I'm going to put money down. I think we are going to get another Friday the 13th film before 2023.
Oh, probably. They just got to work out their legal bullshit.
Yeah, with Victor Miller.
Yep.
Yeah, unless he dies. If he dies, then maybe it'll
good.
go by even faster.
No, I don't want him to die. He's
I don't either.
I like him. He did a really cool interview at the Alamo one time.
Yeah. But let's face facts. If he goes, we make it expedite the process.
Predicting further, I think it's going to be someone's third or second film. Their first one will be a critical success, indie darling. This will be their big blockbuster. It'll be at most 65% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it'll make a good amount of money.
Yes, I love it.
There you go.
In 2023, look back at this podcast, and I might owe someone some money. So,
Wow, Henry's an idiot.
Well, do
Not
you see
only-
that Rotten Tomatoes now is making you verify you went to the movie before you
Yeah.
can rate them?
That's good.
Yeah.
You have to buy it through Fandango, which Rotten Tomatoes owns, so double win for them.
yeah.
Last piece of trivial news though, Coca-Cola is bringing back new Coke. Which Brad, I heard you got us some new Coke.
I did. We'll have
Yeah.
a tasting party.
Ooh, nice.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All in preparation for Stranger Things season 3, which I'm excited for. I need to go back.
I
and
like
revisit
Stranger
it.
Things.
Yeah.
I like the show. I'm not as big into the hype as everybody else is, but I think the show's really fun.
Yeah.
I was. I thought it was interesting to find out that Coke, the new Coke, was on shelves for 3 months in '85, and then it got pulled. And the backlash because the backlash was so great. But I'm wagering that it tastes just the same.
What was the
arrives.
backlash? Why do people not like it?
No, I heard it's spicier or something.
Is it?
Yeah.
The only thing I read was that people are just the biggest thing was, it was just like a knee jerk thing of don't mess with my formula,
which
because they were.
I mean, a lot of stuff hasn't changed. Just
Yeah.
because
To quote Garth Algar, we fear change.
Yeah.
But I couldn't find why they were changing the
You
formula.
shock yourself.
Nice pull.
Because they'd already because the original Coke was made with cocaine, but that was way early in its run. They changed it since then, so I don't know like what changing it again was
Brad,
supposed to do.
that's why it cost $20 to get it. It's because it's now full of cocaine.
They put the coke back in.
Nice to imagine they're like, the cocaine was in the old Coke. This is the new Coke. It has no cocaine and it has all meth.
or maybe since it's 85, they put the cocaine back into it because Coke was really big in the 80s.
That's probably it.
Done.
And people complained.
that was the deleted scene in American
the drug
Made I
dealers
didn't see.
No,
Yeah, they were undercutting the drug dealers.
Yeah. It's a deleted scene from Blow, starring Johnny Depp.
That's the plot of White Boy Rick, isn't it?
But stay tuned. We'll tell you about the coke we did in a few weeks.
Coca-Cola.
But Henry, before we go with news, is there anything out of Cannes you want to talk about?
There is some Cannes news.
Ooh, fun. Talk about Cannes.
If you can.
Haha, the good one.
Cannes, you did it.
The big controversy in Cannes this year was they gave the Lifetime Achievement Award to Alain Delon, who was a very famous actor, French actor. He was in Purple Noon, a couple other stuff. He's very good, great actor. Unfortunately, they're giving him the Lifetime Achievement Award, and unfortunately, he had a history where he would just go on interviews saying, I just love to beat women. And so everyone was like, hey, let's not give him a Lifetime Achievement Award. To which the creative director was like, no, we're going to do it anyway. So that was a big controversy. But anyway, here's the films that came out of it that are exciting.
Way to start us off.
So did I tell you that? My next binge is going to be Cate Blanchett.
Oh, nice.
And I'm really excited for it. However, I'm in a pickle because she appears in a couple Woody Allen films.
Yeah.
And I really don't like Woody Allen. And so I don't know what to do.
I
I still see Blue Jasmine because she actually won an Academy Award for that performance?
I would also say, as someone who has seen that film, her performance isn't that great. I mean, I love Cate Blanchett, but like that performance isn't like, it's not like a oh my fucking god kind of performance.
It's one that I don't really.
How can I say I've seen all her films without seeing them?
No, you gotta watch
it. You can't. You have to see
It
it.
sucks.
It's about completism.
So.
Yeah. But that 100%.
So I'm not going to stream it. I'm not going to buy it off Amazon new. I'm going to find it used because I don't want them getting any fucking money of mine.
Should be pretty easy.
It's not as bad. I'm still going to boycott Polanski. It's not as bad as Polanski, right?
No, yeah, Polanski you just can't watch anymore.
Yeah,
that's my rule.
Just don't do a Christoph Waltz binge.
Yeah, you're fucked there.
Is he in a lot of Polanski films?
No, he's only in the one, Carnage. But
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. You can't finish the.
Oh yeah. So if you're in a Polanski film, I will never watch your film.
I mean, you could go by my rule, which on Letterboxd, any Polanski film that was done after the incident, I automatically give a half star to.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, so I can do the same thing with Woody Allen. I haven't done Woody Allen because I watch his films and they naturally just usually get 1 star anyway. So, like, it's usually fine. But
I have not seen a Woody Allen. I actually seen only a few of them. The last Woody Allen film I saw was on TBS. It's called What's Up, Tiger Lily? And
that was his first film.
Yep.
So
that's the last one I saw. Then I was old enough to read about him. Like, this guy is a weirdo.
I can't remember the other Allen films he's in, but I mean, outside of those, you're pretty much like you're free on other ones. So like you've got other things.
You got some good movies ahead of you, though.
Yeah, you do.
But I guess all he really did was marry his stepdaughter.
Well, it's like if you look at all the
adopted
allegations, yeah. So
well, there's other things that he's done too. But you should also you also get to rewatch The Gift too, and The Aviator.
That is true. I haven't seen The Aviator.
You haven't seen The Aviator?
That's a good one.
She's great as Kate Blanchett, or as Catherine Hepburn.
She's really good as Kate Blanchett.
Kate Blanchett is great. No, I'm still because I get to watch Lord of the Rings and stuff again.
Yeah.
And
no,
it'll be fun.
Extended or theatrical?
Extended.
And you get to watch Thor Ragnarok again.
I do get to watch
Benjamin Button.
She gives me a boner in Ragnarok. God, I love her as Hela.
Yep.
I think Cate Blanchett is beautiful.
Oh, she's great. Ah, boy.
Yep. Anyways,
Anyway.
And I just make sure I say boner as much as I can.
Whoa. Horse boner. There we go. Anyway, other con news: Parasite by John Ho Bong won the Best Picture award, or the Palme d'Or, which is the highest award you can get.
So that's nice.
First time a Korean has ever won that, which is a big deal. For those who don't know, he also did
Okja
and Snowpiercer is the more famous one. He's made a couple other Korean films I'd recommend, but I'm going to watch them. So who cares? But yeah, Parasite came out, so that's probably going to be a big one. What's his name? Antonio Banderas won Best Actor. And they're probably going to give a big push for that the Oscar season. So.
For Assassins 2?
Yep, Assassins 2. It's actually a double feature of that and Desperado 2.
Can you imagine if they made an Assassins 2
I
with
used to make fun of Antonio Banderas because for his delivery, he's like in the back of a car, and I forget who the actor, I don't know if it's Stallone or whoever, and he points a gun at him. He goes, "Bang! You got me."
It's probably going to be a big Oscar film because it's made by Pedro Almodovar, who is the Academy fucking loves, and this film is basically like another. What was the film that came out? Roma. Yeah. It's basically the exact same film.
It's
so people are going to be
Roma.
Yeah, everyone's going to be loving that one.
I like Almodovar when he works with Banderas, though. So
yeah,
that'll be fun.
The Lighthouse by Robert Eggers, who also did The Witch. That's his new film coming out that also has Robert Pattinson in it. That film's apparently pretty good.
And Willem Dafoe.
I really like The Witch, so
yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. That's probably going to be a bigger.
Robert Pattinson's a great actor. He can probably pull off any role.
Oh yeah. Well, you said you joke, but I think he's
I'm
really
not.
good.
I'm not joking.
Good time in High Life. He's great.
You really got to get rid of like the stigma of him being in Twilight because
I think you said that about both him and Kristen Stewart. I think they both really worked hard to get out of that.
Oh yeah.
So
they've
and everybody's got to make a paycheck.
No, yeah.
I mean, that's why he can do freaking.
I mean,
the movies that he's doing now.
I mean, like if you know how much money he probably fucking made on that franchise.
Here's the thing.
I'd do it too.
Said it 100 times. I would sell out so fast. It's not even fucking funny. I'd cut my teeth and it's like, oh, he's in cute independent films, and then I'd be in fucking Mr. Freeze and some shitty DC movie, make $100 million, and I go back to doing what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Then I gotta go fuck themselves, George Clooney style.
Yeah.
Is The Lighthouse a ghost? Is that what the premise is?
Do you want me to spoil the film? Because I have learned what the film's about.
I'm probably not going to see it.
It's apparent about how he finds and fucks a mermaid. So, yeah.
So is it?
There's 3 actors in the entire film.
What would you prefer?
Those 2 and a mermaid. So.
Wait,
so is it female top or female bottom? Which is better?
Apparently, there is a very explicit scene where they show the female vagina. So
Human legs, fish body.
Both.
So is it Pattinson or Defoe that fucks the fish?
I can't spoil that much.
I don't know.
You know you're going to see it, Zach. So
Willem Dafoe.
Back to formula.
Back to this. Okay.
the only other stuff.
Harry.
Portrait Lady on Fire got a lot of good reviews. We'll be looking forward to that. Maybe I'll write a Art House Asshole if I'm not super busy and have time. Probably not. But that was a big one. It's also the first time a woman director was part of the in competition, so I think that was a big deal. 8 of the films that were in competition were bought by Netflix. So if you want to see them, you'll probably see them pretty easily. The only other major thing that I thought was interesting that no one was talking about is how con works. Is you can really only win one award it's like whatever.
Damn it.
It's like. And so it's like whoever wins Best Actor, it's only going to get Best Actor. It's very difficult to get other awards as a way for them to be like, no, whoever wins this award really did a good job with this part, which usually translates to everyone in competition getting an award. What's notable is that despite this, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood still walked away with absolutely nothing. And it's the only film that walked away with nothing. Mm-hmm. So,
because it's going to walk away with money.
The new trailer is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, if I see Stuntman Mike in every movie, it'll be a great day.
It's it looks good.
That would be awesome if they backdoored Stuntman Mike into that movie.
Hell yeah.
He looks like he'd be like. I don't think that's what they're doing, but maybe
maybe it's Stuntman Mark and it's Stuntman Mike's dad.
Ooh.
No, because when does Death Proof take place? In the 70s, right?
No, it takes place in the modern era because they got cell phones in it.
Does it? I don't.
Jungle Julia has a cell phone and she keeps texting the guy that's
you're right,
blowing her off.
Okay, so it's 2007 and it's probably a 50-year-old.
Yeah, so Stuntman Mark.
I love this idea, Stuntman Mark. Oh, hi, Stuntman Mark.
or he gets Infinity suit from the Avengers, and he's able to create 2 timelines.
Stuntman Mike spoke with the Ancient One before going back to 1969.
And he becomes a planet. Stuntman Mike.
Shit.
Oh, this is a secret Marvel movie.
He impregnates Peter Quill's wife because they're in that fucking car too. Oh man, it's all connected.
Once Upon a Time in the Galaxy, Volume 1.
So that'd make him Peter Quill's brother.
Yeah. Wow. Deep, man.
Hashtag it's all connected. Go see it.
Kurt Russell needs to be in more movies.
Oh, he's actually doing a decent.
Oh no, he is. I'm just saying he needs to be in more.
Oh yeah, he should. Did you see his Santa Claus movie on Netflix? I did. I'm probably the only one who did.
Still the greatest line delivered ever is in Death Proof. I'm sorry.
I'm excited for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
If you look up, there are some really good interviews of him and the cast from Con that were really interesting.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
That too, and sometimes I think that festival doesn't really like Hollywood stuff.
No, yeah, I mean, it doesn't surprise me that it didn't win anything. But I mean, I guess it's a little surprising because it did get pretty good reviews out of Cannes.
Yeah, I say it read pretty well.
And so it's a little surprising that it walked away with nothing, but it's not super surprising. So.
And it's probably not 3 hours long in French. So
Did we get
what is 3 hours long?
we don't get a lot of return or repeat winners at Cannes, do we?
It's very, very rare. So,
yeah, so that, because he's already won for Pulp Fiction and the Palme d'Or.
And I'm pretty sure in the past, like ever since Pulp Fiction, only one American has ever won the Palme. So
yeah, so
that was Terrence Malick, which fucking obviously they were gonna fucking jerk off to that film. So he has a new film that also won stuff this year too. So have fun with that.
He shoots films very well.
No, his films are gorgeous.
Yeah.
I will never watch them twice.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Sober, anyway.
His films look very nice.
So, once they legalize mushrooms here, I'll load up all those
They are
fucking
legal
Terrence
now.
mushroom. Terrence.
they are legal now. So
Oh, they're legal officially?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Like it's already taken effect,
I think so.
or is it like a January
no, the
1st
mushrooms
thing?
haven't taken effect.
Alright.
The law has taken effect.
Yeah, I don't know.
I need to go buy some Terrence Malick.
You
films
don't
tonight.
know.
I don't know when it
I thought
actually
you were
takes
gonna say I
effect.
need to find some Terrence
It's
Malick
a
fuel.
Denver ordinance, so does it really affect you?
It'd have to pass through the state. I don't know. I get a legal update coming up in October, and I'll know then.
Right on. Well, anyway,
Speaking of
that's
drugs,
Cannes.
Hell yeah.
I was just checking online. You can still buy new Coke. It's not sold out. Go to cokestore.com/1985.
Nice.
Such a weird way to buy cocaine online is cokestore.com.
Right on the nose.
Bye-oh!
Cue him out, Doc. Cue him out. Anyway,
We-
that's news.
We watch movies throughout the week in a segment I call What We've Been Watching.
So, this is the stuff we've been watching.
I've been gone, so I'm going to go. I'm going to get these off my chest.
You've been gone.
Oh,
Ryan, stop taking your shirt off.
Yeah, I won't do that. I saw Welcome to Marwen, which is Steve Carell.
How was that?
You know, it is really well done. It's really bizarre, but I really liked it. I don't know.
That ending, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Like, I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, the special effects are really amazing in it. Steve Carell is great, but he's also kind of an asshole in the film. So it's hard to like the main character. But he's an asshole because of what's happened to him.
Yeah.
You know, has brain damage, so is it really his fault?
He's a victim of circumstance.
Yeah. But it's a really interesting character too, because he crosses lines a lot, and he doesn't know that he's crossed the line, and he doesn't know he's making people uncomfortable. But I enjoyed it. I don't know if I'll ever watch it again.
But
I
you're
don't
glad
know.
you did see it.
But yeah, because I really wanted to see it when it came out, and it was just in Christmas. It was so overcrowded, and I really wanted to watch it. And
It was that or Aquaman. So.
yeah, that, and I was at Redbox, and they had it, and so I was like, all right, I'll check it out. And so yeah, I mean, you saw it, right, Brad? I mean,
Yeah, like it's the same thing too. I think it got like unfairly crushed by the holiday season and bad reviews, but like it's not something I would want to watch again, like actively seek out. But at the same time, like Steve Carell's good in it. Like all the cast is good in it. The effects are good, especially that Back to the Future finale.
Oh yeah,
Which probably is completely Zemeckis' own flourish on the
oh yeah.
on the story.
I mean, and killing Nazis is always fun.
Yeah. So
it's a very interesting film.
But yeah, the character's not likable enough.
Yeah, and you know, I think it's. I mean, obviously, I'm guessing because he has brain damage and has issues, so it deals with mental health and post-traumatic stress disorder and things like that. It's a very interesting film. I mean, I recommend everybody seeing it because he kind of loses himself in the art, and that's where the Marwen comes from.
Have any of you seen the original documentary?
No, I'm really interested too because they talk about it on the special features and things like that. So,
Marwen call.
I saw Detective Pikachu.
So did I.
And it's I was actually kind of disappointed in it because I thought it veered into kid movie way too much.
I fucking hated this movie.
So yeah, I think the writing was really lazy.
Yeah, I mean, like I think it's fair to say that I'm the biggest Pokemon fan here.
I'm not. Oh, you are the biggest Pokemon
Yeah.
fan. I'm not at all.
What I kind of describe this film as, people, is that this is a Pokemon film that's ashamed to be a Pokemon film. Because, like, the entire point of Pokemon is the battles, and there's literally 0 Pokemon battles in this entire film. and they make a point to be like, oh, this is the one city where it's illegal. I'm like, well, fucking why though?
Well, have you played the Detective Pikachu game?
No, but because no one has.
Well,
No, I
Ryan did.
have.
Oh,
yeah.
you have?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that the Pokemon game that's really the only Pokemon game I've ever played and beat.
Yeah.
You're just in the city and you're solving like crimes.
But I mean, and that's fine but if you're going to adapt a Pokemon movie, why on earth would you do that one?
Yeah, and the special effects are pretty amazing.
No, that's why.
and
And that's why. Like, I gave it 2.5 stars on Letterboxd
Me too.
because,
Hey,
like,
we're
I
twinsies.
think, I think the production design, like the set design, the animation for all the people or all the Pokemon is great, and I think most of it's great. But I just think like it doesn't. The script and everything else doesn't deserve it.
It really lets
for
it down.
For a detective movie, I wish the mystery was more interesting.
Yeah, and when I was watching it, the highlights of the film were in the trailer.
Yeah.
You know, it was with the Mime Pokemon.
Yeah,
I
Mr.
don't know.
Mime, yeah.
I don't even know his real name.
Mr. Mime, yeah.
And I mean, Ryan Reynolds is fine in it. And then Mewtwo is able to transfer consciousness from...
No, the ending, the entire third act film makes literally fucking no sense to me.
Yeah, so you switch with your Pokemon. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it was really forgettable for me, and I thought the writing was really lazy.
Yeah. Without spoiling something, Booksmart is a better detective film than this film. So,
yeah, it's just... So, yeah, I mean, I was actually kind of disappointed because I was hoping it'd be really fun. I think the game's really fun.
Yeah.
And I just didn't have fun in the movie. And it seemed really long.
It seemed overly long. Some of the acting is kind of absurd, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, the female detective in the film, I don't know what movie she thought she was in, but it was not the movie she was in.
Yeah.
Like, so,
Agreed.
That whole giant turtle sequence just seemed like a special effects, like,
That's-
because we
yeah.
can do this?
That's another thing that bothered me is that, like, there's this giant fucking sequence of these, like, colossal monsters destroying the planet, and that's the end of the second act. And it's like, we never acknowledge that the rest of the film, and then we top that with a parade. And that's not how, like, ascending, like, tension works. And so...
Yeah, it is bizarre. Yeah. I mean, I knew it was going to be weird because the game is weird, too.
No,
but-
yeah.
I liked it, but I mean, like, it's not without its faults, to be sure. I mean, I guess I liked it a little bit more.
Yeah, I could not get into it, and I tried so hard.
And and after seeing it, I've always really wanted a good live action Pokemon film, but after seeing the film, I think I realized that you just can't. Like, how Pokemon works, I don't think you can really translate that to screen. And so, I mean, they're apparently going to try with Pokemon Red and Blue in a couple years, but
Well, I mean, because this is the highest grossing, I think, video game film of all time already.
Yeah, technically the highest rated critically. So
Yeah, they've got all the models now, so...
Yeah.
no, I mean, and
there's
so
that.
like, and that's I also give them a lot of credit as like a Pokemon fan that they use Pokemon from every generation, which I wasn't expecting. Like, I thought they were going to stick to predominantly the main or like the original 151.
You know, I do like Psyduck because
Yeah.
I'm like, that's always been a weird Pokemon.
Yeah.
And he's weird in the movie, too.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I listened to an interview with the writers of the script, and they had some interesting insight into like choices they made and choices that ended up like not going through completely. So, but it's clear that they had at the time the best intent in it. But
it's
but they I mean
Yeah.
also it was kind of a
I'm sure kids
promotional
love it.
thing. So I enjoyed it, and I think it's because I went in with zero expectations.
Like,
so.
if I saw this when I was 10, this would have been, I would have fucking loved this film.
yeah.
And I would have thought about this film, that this would have been like, I'm sure this is going to be someone's live action Scooby Doo film. Where they're going to be like, this is a great film, which is how I think of live action Scooby Doo. I mean, they'll rewatch it and be like, this is still a great film, but they're not going to think that of Detective Pikachu. So,
When Ditto shows up, did your audiences, like, lose their shit?
my theater was almost empty.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know.
I thought that was
Mine
a good.
did.
That was a good twist. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, cool. What else did you watch, Ryan?
I watched Cary Grant's first Oscar-nominated performance called "None But the Lonely Heart."
There you go.
And he's kind of mean in this film, and it's a different kind of role for Cary Grant. In it, he plays like a thief who comes home and he never stays at home with his mom, and his mom runs a secondhand store, basically a pawn shop, and so the first half of the film is he's basically saying, "I'm leaving tomorrow, Ma," and he's playing like a Cockney guy, and he's great in this movie. Not the overall movie's not one of his best movies. He's amazing in it. Ethel Barrymore, who won an Academy Award, is really good in it. It's not like the Grant you're used to, and not that it's a bad thing. It's just
I haven't watched this one. I'll have to check this.
yeah.
one
It's I mean, it's a Warner Archives, and the transfer's really good.
DVD or Blu-ray?
DVD.
Oh, okay.
It comes with a trailer, so they cared enough to put a trailer in it. Come see dashing Cary Grant as you've never seen him before. So yeah, it's an interesting film, and I can see why he was nominated for it because he's so against type in it. Because he's basically the bad guy in it, and he struggles. He oscillates between being loyal to his mother and being a gangster, and then he gets in trouble with the gang, the mob in it.
Well, of course, you always do
in
these movies.
And,
you can't never not get in trouble.
But
with the mob
people
guys.
die and stuff, and I mean, it's a pretty dark film for 1942, I think it is. I followed that up with The Grass is Greener, another Cary Grant film, directed by the gentleman who also did Charade and Singing in the Rain.
Stanley Donen.
In it, Cary Grant plays a British aristocrat who they farm mushrooms, and
then they have their tea and biscuits.
Yes, they do have tea in it quite a bit. But in it, his wife. So they open up their home to tours because they're having money trouble. So for like £2, you come in and see the stately manor. And at one point, a photographer and rich oil tycoon, played by Robert Meacham, stumbles into the private quarters of Deborah Kerr, who plays Grant's wife, and they fall in love. And so she goes to New York or goes to London to have an affair with him, and it's really bizarre. And then they have a duel, him and Cary Grant, inside the mansion, and it's shot amazing. This film is shot so well. It's pretty funny, but it's also kind of bizarre. I don't know. I think I put it kind of in the middle of his the films I've seen him right in the middle, because he's really great in it. The premise is really bizarre. Because at the end, I mean, it's in the title. It's not really a spoiler. The grass is greener, so she thinks the grass is better on the other side. It's really not. It's with her husband and her kids. And it's really a weird thing where Deborah Kerr leaves her husband and her 2 kids to go have an affair with some American oil tycoon.
It was a different time, right?
Yeah, but they do the fade away into the bedroom and stuff. So they definitely are implying that they're fucking. And Cary Grant is
pretty much explicit you get in the 40s. So.
Well, this is 60, 59. And he has a duel because he wants to win his wife back, and he sets it up where both of the guns actually don't have bullets in them, but his butler shoots Cary Grant in the arm so he can get sympathy from his wife, and she realizes that she does love him still. I want to take my wife back. Fuck you, get out of here. So yeah, it's still good. The dueling scene is shot and edited so well that it makes I gave it 3.5. I gave a half a star alone for that editing and how that was shot.
Nice.
It's pretty great. John Wick Chapter 3.
Me too.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. I also have some Stanley Donen films coming out too. So
all right.
We have pretty much the same schedule.
Man, that is awesome. I feel the same way I feel about every John Wick film I've seen. All 3 of them. The action is amazing. The world building and the dialogue and everything else is fucking garbage.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
And I feel like because I watched all the John Wick films this week, I feel like the third one, or each film doubles down even further with the lore.
Yeah, and it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I remember when I saw the first one, I used to call them Super Mario coins. I'm like, why do people have Super Mario coins that they give to people?
Yeah.
And
in this when we get into how they're made, I'm like, I don't need to know this.
Yeah, and then he goes and sees Angelica Houston, and I guess he's from Belarus, and he has to send him away, and she knows by doing this she's going to get slashed by some ninja guy.
I don't really understand her entire... Because I feel like she'll be a big part in the next one, which I don't really like it when films start doing that kind of thing. And
that's because it's a world building, which I don't understand the world that they're building.
Well, so it's I don't understand, I get the whole high table shit and all that, because how he killed the high table person, that's a big deal. Who is Larry Fishburne? Why
King of the Hobos?
But what's his title? Because the high table person we're going to replace you, and it's who?
Because he's technically supposed to be the guy that kind of works around the city and on the street level.
Then who's everyone else?
I don't really know.
Who are these people killing? Everyone's an assassin.
After we reviewed it, I thought about it more, and I'm like, yeah, this story building sucks, But I like that they're trying. Like, I don't know. I mean, like, I'm there to watch somebody get a hatchet in the face, which is what I saw in that third one.
I mean, the fight in like
that
the
knife
antique
scene was so funny.
weapon store was amazing.
Yeah.
And you can tell, I mean, Keanu Reeves is working his ass off
Oh, yeah.
in these films. I mean, it's fun. And I was kind of hoping it was going to be like Mad Max, where you're going in, it's just an action scene for 2 fucking hours.
No, I thought that's what it was gonna be. I thought it was
Yeah.
gonna be like, because then went to the horse scene. I thought, great. I thought it was just like each scene would just be like a different way to kill people.
Yeah.
and I was like, so. And for a second, I thought, if this film just becomes like the Saw of action films, I'm gonna be totally into it.
Totally. And then after like 40 minutes of straight action, then you go, oh, now it's time to see Halle Berry.
And then time to go to the desert and walk there.
And
for
walk
a while.
around, and then some random dude, and he chops off his finger. And I understand that he was doing it so he can get back and whatever, but
I don't like the idea of the man who's above the table. I'm just like, and why is he some random guy in the desert and not
Yeah,
some
it
kind of
doesn't-
celebrity cameo?
I thought,
walk until you can't walk anymore.
Should have been Carrie Ann Moss or something. Just create
that
that
was
Matrix idea. You
when
know?
he has to cut his finger off, and he was like, "You need to give me something," and he put that table down. For a split second, I thought he was going to pull out his dick and cut that off. And I was like, "What is happening?"
Well, I'm not using this anymore.
I was actually hoping that he was going to go to cut his finger off and then take that fucking chisel, kill that one guy, and kill everybody else in that room. And
yeah,
and
that would have been good.
Fuck. But
I mean,
I don't write 'em.
The other, I mean, don't get me wrong. Because my thing,
They're
'cause I thought-
fun.
no, like in the second one, they double down on the lore stuff while keeping the same level of action from the first film. Whereas I think in this one, they double down on the lore stuff while also doubling the action.
Yeah.
So I kind of forgive this one more than the second one.
Yeah.
But like,
well, yeah, because I mean the fight scene too at the end where they're inside like the glass thing is pretty fucking badass.
It's pretty great,
Yeah.
And the samurai ninja guy, his
Yeah.
character is really out of place.
He's an Iron
'cause
Chef participant.
he's he says, "That was a pretty good fight, wasn't it?" You go, "Wait, what?"
I was saying how that was a really weak, because he has that like that line.
Be seeing you, John.
No,
you and I are the same
one
person.
basically like the one-liner. Like
Yeah.
that's a line like Arnold would give, and it'd be like really clever.
Oh, yeah.
But John Wick's just like, no, you won't.
Yeah,
He dies.
Yeah,
like,
it's the
"Aw."
be seeing you, John. He goes, no, you won't.
Yeah.
yeah. And I've always
We're all
said this.
catch up
I
with
think
you,
that's
that's what
why
it is.
Schwarzenegger is so he transcends those kind of lines because he knows how to deliver them.
Yeah.
There is an art to being able to deliver a one-liner. The Rock can do it.
Yeah.
Statham can do it. Keanu Reeves, I like Keanu, but
I don't think one-liners are his thing
No.
necessarily, unless they're like Matrix one-liners.
the FBI.
I mean, I don't think Keanu Reeves is a great actor, but he gives his all.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
He still tries really hard with every
Oh, yeah.
part, and I really
a fun
respect
guy.
that.
Oh no, I respect the hell out of him. I mean,
Yeah.
he makes fun movies.
Yeah.
He's not a great actor, but he's fun.
Like, and I guess like my biggest problem with this film is that like by the time like he was in the desert, or by the time like he went to Halle Berry and was like, I'm going to meet with the high-tailed person, I immediately knew, the fourth film was about how he's going to kill all the high people, all the
Yeah.
high tables. Like, I should be able to predict this film 2 films in advance. And so
Yeah, I mean, I'm down to see more action.
no, I'll
Yeah.
buy tickets to the next
Yeah.
one, but
I guess I wasn't in love with it because you read all the reviews and
yeah.
and I'm like, yeah, it's fun.
It's at like 96% or something like
Yeah.
that. And I'm just like, I don't know if
It is fun.
Yeah.
It's just like I said, the action's awesome. The world building and the dialogue is garbage. I watched Apollo 11, which is the documentary that came out, and it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, hell yeah, it is.
The 65 millimeter film that they found and put at the beginning of the picture.
Looks fucking amazing, right?
Oh my god!
Yeah.
It looks like it was shot yesterday.
Yeah.
And I loved there's scenes when the rocket is launching and you can see the reflection of it in people's glasses and things like that. So it's pretty awesome.
I wish you could have seen it on a big screen. It looked amazing.
But yeah, the only bummer is the Blu-ray there's a documentary on it that says the story behind the 65. I'm like, oh, awesome. I'm going to say, how they found it. It was 1 minute long.
Oh, really?
I go, what the fuck?
65 is
EPK!
a number of millimeters.
We
should have
opened the
probably
box,
looked that up
and
in
there
your
it was.
That's pretty much what they said. They said, we were given this access, and we found this amazing footage, and it looks stunning. And yeah, but no, the movie moves so fast, and it's even though you know how it ends, it's still really cool.
Wait, what happened again? They landed on the moon, right?
They did.
Thank God.
And the aliens were there.
But it was fake.
No, and then they shut off their cameras because they had to find a transformer on the moon. No, I love that film a lot. I liked watching it in IMAX. Like, I don't go to IMAX that much anymore, and I'm glad Brad and I were able to get to that one. So, glad it looks good on Blu-ray, though.
Oh, yeah, no, it's awesome.
That's good.
And the last thing I watched is Fighting with My Family.
Oh, did you like it?
Yeah, it was fun. It's the story of Paige's rise to the WWE, coming from a wrestling family.
Were you a Paige fan or a
No.
wrestling fan, really, in like
No.
of that kind of like era? Or
That's like, I mean, that's like
I know you
current-
like wrestling.
That's
but
like the current era.
I like the late 90s, early 2000s when The Rock was in them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that stuff was even really ridiculous. But I don't think because I tried to watch it. The wrestling now has the charisma that they had back then.
I don't know.
they kind of, I feel like, because I watched some of wrestling today, like the current era, and I think like they kind of substitute the crazy and charisma for more actual wrestling, which isn't kind of what I'm going for.
Yeah,
and so
and that-
I think it's impressive what they're doing still.
And here's the thing too: is it sounds silly, but I mean, I liked wrestling too in like the 80s and stuff when I was growing up.
Yeah.
But when you're in the ring, you have to tell a story.
Yeah.
And I don't think that people nowadays can tell the story as well.
Yeah.
From the Bret Harts, the Shawn Michaels, Dwayne Johnsons, Stone Cold Steve Austin. However, the movie's really entertaining. They take a lot of liberties in the story, and that's fine. I don't care.
It's not. I mean, it'd be one thing if they were like, and then Abraham Lincoln met The Rock.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't think the story of Paige I think we'll be okay.
I mean, 'cause,
Wait a minute.
I mean, I
we
know
should have that movie.
I mean, my pulse is on it enough that I know enough of her story.
Yeah.
I mean, they skipped over her sex tapes, but like,
the important part's Ryan
Totally.
Frost.
no, but she was like the NXT champion for a really long time. I think she has the longest reign or something. I mean, I'm not that versed.
I mean, she is easily one of the most impressive female wrestlers.
Oh yeah,
So.
and to tell a story is really important. I mean, I think Vince Vaughn in it is really great.
Yeah.
He's surprisingly restrained in the
Oh,
film.
yeah, and I
like,
think
in a weird way. Like
The
he's not
scene-
goofy in it.
The scene he has with her at the bus stop is really great, where he tells her, he said, you know, when I see your brother, it's not because he can wrestle. It's because I'll tell you what he's going to be. He's going to be the guy who pushes you over the edge and whatever. And then you learn from The Rock that he was the guy who pushed The Rock over the edge.
That's my favorite scene because he's like you kind of see him off in the distance and Vince Vaughn's just kind of like it's only a slight shot, but you just kind of you understand that character even more all within that one single shot. It's
But
really
yeah,
nice.
the scene where they meet The Rock is pretty great. And they ask how to be the next Rock. And he's like, I'm sorry, what was your name? It doesn't matter what your name is. He just goes off and it, like, yeah, he's pretty on point. So it was a fun movie.
Nick Frost too in that movie. Like a different type of tenderness out of him I haven't seen in a while.
Oh yeah,
so.
it was great. And he, I mean, yeah, I've never seen him actually play like that.
Yeah, like he's a really kind, caring father when he's not marketing things to death. It's a good movie. I like it.
Yeah, it's great. So Zach, what did you watch this week?
Well, I watched a lot of stuff, but I'm not going to talk all about it. I watched a shit ton of Hitchcock films to get this marathon going for the series. The biggest standouts in the rewatch, because I've watched all but one or two of Hitchcock's films, and those are usually those are just the silent films. I think it's no, actually, there's one sound film. It's Jamaica Inn, The Pleasure Garden, and something else. But I have to look at the list again. But I went through a big chunk of them. So I rewatched North by Northwest, which is an amazing movie. Ryan, I think James Mason's the most bored villain in cinema history. He looks very bored. Wait, the scene after they're on Mount Rushmore and after Martin Landau falls off, he's just like, well, that was mean or whatever. Like I can't remember the exact line, but he just looks like he's like, yeah, whatever. I've been arrested. I don't fucking care.
Cary
Like, where's my
Grant
5
is
o'clock
fucking
cocktail?
Amazing in that film.
He is. And he's amazing. And don't get me wrong, like he's the reason you're watching that journey. But every time James Mason comes up, I'm just like, why are you so bored? You're in a Hitchcock movie. Like, give me something a little bit. But he's still good in it. It's just like, it's just a weird notion. But then I remember Salem's Lot, and I'm like, oh, he's bored in everything.
Yeah. It's fascinating because I think, though, I remember watching a documentary. It might be on the Blu-ray. I can't remember. where they say that those two are maybe the first two like gay couple really portrayed on screen.
They hint at it, yeah. I mean,
they hint at it a lot.
Yeah, and it's like, but they only talk a little bit about it in the doc compared to just like Eva Marie Saint talking about her. She's amazing in the movie too.
And I think the Mount Rushmore scene, the crop dusting scene is really like popular, but that scene where he's breaking into the house is so well shot. It's so if I didn't love The Awful Truth so much, that would definitely be the best Cary Grant film.
At the very least, it's like it's 1A, 1B. It's within the top 3, if not the top 2.
Oh yeah, it's 1A, 1B.
Yeah,
for me personally, but because he's funny in it, and he's also I love that he's they think he's some like spy and this expert killer and stuff, and
it's a fun.
And there's funny parts you chuck out loud when he's just left in the middle of nowhere, and then the crop dusting plane shows up.
And I mean, like, and I've always loved how it draws out that scene, like it makes you wait for that moment.
Oh,
like
yeah.
The first time I saw it, all I knew about the film was the crop dusting
it's
thing.
so iconic.
So I waited for it, like, and this was like 10 years ago. So I'd be waiting for it, and I'd be like, when's it coming? When's it fucking coming? And then it comes, and it's like great. Like, and the behind the scenes stuff is amazing on that because like apparently, and not all of it's on location. There is like 1 or 2 shots that are on.
Well, yeah,
the
they
set.
didn't want to really kill Cary Grant.
I mean, he's daring enough that he probably could have.
He probably
did the whole thing, but. Actually, it relates to another one of the ones I watched was the 39 Steps, which I had seen before, but always in bad, like bootleg prints. And Criterion restored the shit out of it, and it looks amazing. It's Robert Donat. It's basically the British version of North by Northwest, where man gets mistaken for somebody else because he witnesses a murder and has to go on a journey to clear his name. That's still a fun film. I did the Man Who Knew Too Much, both the original and the remake. I like the original more because it feels a little dirtier. The remake is really good. James Stewart and Doris Day are wonderful in it, but it's like really slick for that story.
I think I like James Stewart. I don't know if he's right for that part.
Yeah, that's another thing. I think Doris Day is great in that movie. Yeah. The scene where she gets when she finds out that her kid's missing and she's breaking down on the bed because she's taking the pills is amazing. And The Lodger, which is Hitchcock's third film, but he considers it his first film. Like the first true Hitchcock picture, is a wonderful film that I've only watched in terrible fucking prints, and this one was cleaned up significantly. It was part of BFI's restoration project to restore the big 5 silent Hitchcock films that were like deteriorating like nastily. It's basically a Jack the Ripper type story where a guy's going around killing a bunch of women. Nobody knows who it is, only that he wears a scarf and a hat, like to cover his identity.
Like the Shadow?
You know what he does? He leaves a note on the bodies of people that calls himself the Avenger.
Oh.
And it has a triangle on it. And I'm just like, that's not Tony Stark. But then, meanwhile, there's a boarding house that takes in a new tenant who suspiciously may or may not be the Lodger, or may not be the Avenger. So it's a big, well, is he or is he not? For a silent film, like of that era, like, I think they're always intriguing because you have to tell a story without words, like dialogue spoken, and this one has very few title cards, which it lends to the credence of Hitchcock's belief in pure cinema, which is like as few title cards as possible, tell the story through the images and
I
not
think
through
that's
the
why
dialogue.
Phantom of the Opera is so successful.
I agree. Like,
I don't even. There's 10 title cards in Phantom?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Well, and the tension of Phantom of the Opera is that you're waiting for the imagery of Lon Chaney to reveal what he looks like and then what happens after that. So there's a build-up that people are already interested in to begin with.
Yeah.
And then and I rewatched The Birds, which is still an amazing film. That's the first one I ever saw. It scared the shit out of me when I was younger. That movie looks amazing on the 4K player. I know it's only the Blu-ray restored, but it like the lines are not like it's not distracting. Like some films of the era that are special effects films, like the separation of the plates is distracting. This one's not. Like it just anything that looks outdated, it feels like it's necessary to the art anyway. So, and it's probably because the sodium process that they used for processing those images was part of Disney's sodium process for doing special effects on their films, and iWorks was the special photographic consultant on The Birds.
Yeah, okay.
So,
iWorks, co-creator of Mickey Mouse.
Exactly. And I think honestly the one that I didn't like revisiting the most was Marnie, mainly because I didn't like Marnie to begin with. It's Sean Connery and Tippi Hedren, and it's a very problematic movie even when it was made. and it's still very problematic. However, I appreciated it more this time around for the technical feat, Tippi Hedren's performance. And this is the best Bernard Herrmann score I've heard that's not the essentials like Citizen Kane or Psycho or even The Man Who Knew Too Much. Like this is like a really good score wrapped in a weird movie. Like you could play the score on its own and it does some interesting transitions that are linked up to the film, but on their own sound incredible. Like, I mean, when I'm doing the series, and one thing I would love to talk about is his collaborators, and Herman's definitely going to be discussed. I just don't know how I'd approach it just yet. But I like thinking about Bernard Herrmann because he's an interesting cat, and his career is kind of like narrow but vast at the same time in terms of how much he did for cinema and stuff. So yeah, I'm going to keep going with the Hitchcock films. And I rewatched Rebecca, Rebecca's amazing. I hadn't watched it on the Criterion yet though, so they cleaned that fucking up nicely. And I forgot that Judith Davis, James Judith Anderson, was a character in Star Trek III: The Search for Spock. So the whole time I saw Mrs. Danvers, I was just like, "Don't you have to resurrect Spock right now?" So yeah, it had been a long time since I'd seen that. The most underrated in that rewatch though was Topaz, which is a spy film with John Forsythe as the only known name actor in the movie. The film is basically about how they get the information about the Cuban Missile Crisis to prepare for the Cuban Missile Crisis. It's total fiction. It's based on a novel from the period, and it's the most left field Hitchcock ever got, in my opinion, because it's not necessarily done in his style. I think there's like a few isolated moments where it becomes a Hitchcock movie, and the rest of it's kind of like a very standard but well told spy thriller. It's long, but it's very like efficient. It's kind of like a modern spy movie is today, like a European spy movie that you'd see. So I mean, those are fun films. I'm going to continue watching. I'm going to do a Shadow of a Doubt and Psycho double feature because they're interesting films to look at back to back, and how he handles American violence and the way like how the killer next door and somebody you don't expect to be the killer is the killer. And then I've also been continuing on Star Trek Next Generation. I'm in season 7 now, so this is almost fucking over. Descent, the two-parter that ended season 6 and began season 7, is still a fun one. And obviously it's how Data gets the access to the empathy chip that he can then use to great effect in Star Trek Generations. The Will Riker thinking he's insane episode is amazing because it's basically just Jonathan Frakes' acting reel. It's still been a fun watch for all intents and purposes. So, and then I saw Detective Pikachu and Avengers at the Drive-In with Brad. I liked Detective Pikachu, but I didn't love it as much the second time around. Avengers Endgame, still loved it. And that final shot with Peggy and Rogers dancing at the end was great to look at on a drive-in screen. Like it was very cinematically romantic. So I appreciate
to show full penetration.
I know, especially at 88th Street Commerce Drive-In.
Yeah.
You know,
Who'd have thought?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. You know. Anyway, it's a drive-in. I'm sure they showed porn before. Anyway, that's all I've been watching this week.
If you watch that newsreel interview they did, it was a outdoor porn theater at one point.
Oh, really?
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
How times have changed.
Wow.
Yeah,
I feel like
the original owners. Yeah,
I feel like
they
you
showed
get dirt
X-rated
all up in your
movies.
crevices. So I just feel like that'd be uncomfortable.
I have one more. I watched Top Gun at the gym.
Yes.
And I could burn 953 calories doing Top Gun.
Of course.
That is the best workout soundtrack I've had
yeah.
of any of the movies they've shown. Like, they've shown great movies, but not all of them are, like, great soundtracks to do it with.
Yeah, no.
You've got, like, hit after hit in Top Gun, and I hadn't seen Top Gun in a long time. I've been trying to rewatch it since starting to come on the podcast with you guys, and I hadn't done it. Still a fun fucking flick.
I maintain, in my Tom Cruise rankings, I put it number 1. It's not his best film, but it's the Tom Cruise film, if that makes
the definitive
any
Tom
sense
Cruise,
at
yeah.
all.
And so many up-and-coming actors. You got
Oh,
Meg
yeah.
Ryan, you got Tim Robbins.
Yep.
You got a lot of down-and-coming actors like Val Kilmer.
You say I'm crazy. What about you, lady? Oh God, I love that fucking movie.
I It's a good.
Well, Goose, she's lost that love and feeling.
It's weird though because I'd only watched
Tom Cruise.
I've only watched Top Gun once before rewatching it at the gym, but I've watched Zodiac several times. So every time I see Anthony Edwards on stage, I'm just like, you got to get back with Mark Ruffalo, solve that fucking mystery. So that's all I watched this week.
Let's be quick about this. All right, cool. I watched a lot of Soviet montage films. Fun fact about all of those: they're all communist propaganda. So fuck those.
So in Soviet Russia.
They're not.
You're the only Eisenstein fanboy that I know of, boy.
I fucking hate. Anyway,
You have a shirt that says "I love Sergey."
my current actress that I'm watching too is Aubrey Hepburn.
Oh,
so I've watched a lot of her films recently.
did you watch Charade? Is that the film?
That was one I watched. Very good. It's a very, very good film. Two films that I don't hear talk about as much that I think are really good though are Children's Hour. I think that's an amazing film. And Wait Until Dark is also an amazing film. That's
Wait
both
Until
those are
Dark.
great.
She's great in Wait Until Dark.
And watching Wait Until Dark, I was like, this is basically just Don't Breathe. So,
But it's I got that. I saw that a long time ago. My grandfather used to watch those old movies.
Yeah.
So when AMC used to show those kind of films, and then so when Warner Archives last year put that out on Blu-ray, I bought it the day of.
Oh yeah,
and
it's a great film.
It's a great film.
Other stuff I watched a horror film called I Trapped the Devil. Have you heard of this one, Ryan?
Yes,
It's IFC Midnight.
Yeah.
I've heard about it.
It's
I
a
haven't
very
watched it yet.
interesting film. I think I would recommend it. It's basically the plot about it is that this couple kind of goes to visit like their brother, and the brothers lived in this like in their dead parents' house, and it's very very eccentric. Like the windows are boarded up. He's clearly something's wrong with him, and then he reveals that he has trapped a man in the basement, and he's like, I can guarantee you this guy is the devil, and we cannot let him out. And basically those two having to decide. Is he really the devil, or is our brother insane, and did he kidnap someone?
That's
and
awesome.
It's kind of this slow burn of, like, it's very similar to 10 Cloverfield Lane of, like,
oh, cool.
which one is worse? And so I saw that. And then I guess the only other thing that I think I'll mention is, that's one thing I'll mention. I watched Burning, which was a Korean film that came out last year. It got a lot of publicity, primarily because it's a Korean film. It did really well at Cannes. They said it made the shortlist for Best Foreign Film for Korea.
It had Stephen Yeun in it.
Yeah, it had Stephen Yeun in it. It's okay. It's not as good as I thought it was going to be, but it's basically about this guy meets up with this girl, and he's like, I kind of really like you. Can we start fucking? She's like, sure, but you gotta feed my cat. And so she goes out of town. He feeds her cat.
You gotta feed two pussies.
Yeah. And so, like, then she comes back from her vacation.
That was gross.
Yeah, I know. File it.
She comes back from her vacation. She's like, by the way, I met this other super cool guy named Ben, who's Stephen Yeun. And Stephen Yeun is, like, way hotter than this main character. And so, it's a problem. And so the two of them are just kind of like, both of us want to fuck this girl. What are we going to do? And Stephen Yeun's like, well, I don't know, but I also really like burning down houses.
Oh.
And it kind of just moves from there. So, I don't know if I'd recommend it. It's on Netflix if you want to check it out. It's okay, but I think it's a little blown out of proportion, and that is all I saw this week.
I forgot to mention, you can read also that I'm binging Family Guy, and I think Road to Rhode Island might be the greatest episode of Family Guy.
It's a pretty wonderful one. It's a great musical number.
There is a great musical number. It just is everything that Family Guy should be. Just revisiting it, I'm like, man, this episode is really tight. Mm-hmm. And, I also like the one where Lois gets a flight attendant job just for, there's a moment where Peter and the guys are out at the bar and he goes, fly anywhere for free. Huh, guess I won't be needing you, Tink. And Tinkerbell is drinking with him. And she's like, what? You're just going to dump me like that? You knew what this was. And I going back, they are really, people make fun of Family Guy for the cutaway stuff. But the writers there are really brilliant. Like, they're really smart. And
I think especially in, like, the first couple seasons.
Oh, yeah.
I think, like, towards, like, the newer stuff, I think they kind of rely on it a little too heavily, but...
But I've been watching some... I'll touch on them, obviously, a lot later, but some of the new ones, they've been taking a lot of risks in.
Yeah.
Whether they do it, like, a bottle episode where Stewie and Brian are stuck in a bank vault.
That's a great episode,
and things like that, I think, separate Family Guy from a lot of the animated stuff. Anyways, Brad, what'd you watch?
So I got a second chance to watch Hard Ticket to Hawaii in the theater, and it went much better this time around.
That's the one with the frisbee, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I got to see this movie.
And that's not even like the most outrageous part of the movie. So speaking of Family Guy, there's a character in Hard Ticket to Hawaii who is like the concierge for the restaurant that everyone's kind of like coming back to and leaving. Is like a human version of Quagmire. like he looks like him, and then he'll say like the same misogynistic things. That I was like, how come no one mentions that this is Quagmire before Quagmire? Because I think this came out in like the early 80s.
It's Quagmire. It's Quagmire.
Who else but
Giggity,
Quagmire?
giggity. Let's have sex.
And then there's a part in the middle where like the two male heroes are in their Jeep and they're cruising to the destination, and then one of the assassins is skateboarding.
Hang on. What is the premise of Hard Ticket to Hawaii?
So there's, I guess, a drug operation in Hawaii that is sort of protected by the authorities, and then there's a kind of a delivery service with two female pilots. One of them is a retired FBI agent, I think, and then they stumble onto this drug operation while just doing like an Amazon delivery, and then they go back to their home base, and then they call up. I think the two male leads are from another movie called Malibu Express, I'm guessing, because they seem like you should know these characters because they're famous. So they say, hey, you need to come help us stop these guys.
So let me ask you a question. Why is there a guy, because I've only seen the clip of the Frisbee.
Right.
Why is there a guy on the beach with like an AK-47, and why is he playing Frisbee with the other guy?
Okay, the guy with the gun is protecting the crime lord's drug plantation.
Okay.
And then that girl who he starts playing Frisbee with before he starts playing Frisbee with the guy with the gun, she's just there on vacation, some random woman.
Okay, I'm following you.
So the guy with the Frisbee, after earlier the girls do reconnaissance on the location to make sure, like, these were all the guys are going to be, so when we do storm the base, we know what to expect. So after all that's the first part of the plan, is that main guy comes and,
So how did he know that lady would have a Frisbee and that one guy would want to play with him? And did they show a scene where he puts the razors in the Frisbee?
Yes.
Oh my God, I need to see this movie.
So the scene before that, every two
question
girls
you've answered makes me want to see this movie.
It's amazing. So the first scene of that whole exchange is the two girls themselves. They are hiding in the bushes with binoculars, watching the guy with the AK-47, who is
in
playing
a totally
Frisbee.
rad Hawaiian shirt, by the way.
Yes, and he's playing with another woman on the beach who is playing
so
Frisbee.
they've done some reconnaissance.
Exactly.
Okay.
And like, so the one girl has binoculars, and the other one has like a large handy cam that's like probably for underwater photography. Like, it's got this huge yellow case, but they use it like a telescope. They're like, I need a closer look. Hand me the handy
giant camera.
I'm like, the binoculars are probably better than the zoom on that thing. So yeah, then they go back to the girls' tiki hut or whatever. They tell the boys, hey, this is what we like. Here, watch the footage. The one guy and the girl are like, yeah, we're going to watch some of this footage privately. And so they go to another room to bone.
So there's nudity as well.
Yes.
Fuck, I need to see this movie.
Yeah, you'd love it. Lots of
right
boobs.
up your alley, Brian. I'm surprised you haven't seen it already.
I know, boobs, violence.
I have it on Blu-ray, so I'll give it to you.
There's a Blu-ray of it?
Yeah.
Fuck me, dude.
Um,
This movie keeps getting better.
So yeah, then there's a montage of them all cleaning their guns, and the one guy making the Frisbee with the razor blades in it. And then,
sweet. It's a montage?
Yeah.
What song is playing?
I don't remember. It's probably. I think it was just like generic
Generic
keyboard music.
sync,
Yeah. So yeah, then the one girl takes a glider to the location. The rest of them take the Jeep, and then the one guy surfs in with his disguise and his little knapsack with the Frisbee in it, and then he interrupts the Frisbee game with the girl.
Shit, it's only $11 on Amazon.
It's worth it. But it makes me want to get Malibu Express, which is the other one, because the girl who has the tiki hut, she's a film buff.
Oh shit!
And she has posters to the other.
Look at the cover for Malibu Express.
Yeah. She has a poster of Malibu Express
Packing
in her
heat from Texas to Malibu Beach. Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
So, and there's even a poster for a movie called Seven, Which I was like, that's probably not Fincher's 7. This is like 82.
I like to imagine someone's like, I fucking love Malibu Express, and I love the morality tale 7.
So, you might want to consider getting Malibu Express. It has an all-new 4K scan.
Wow.
And an HD restoration. Available for the first time in HD widescreen.
And we can't get Last Action Hero on Screen Factory yet. We can get this.
No in 4K scan Last Action Hero yet.
Wow.
But anyway, the even more over the top than the razor blade in the Frisbee is
more?
Before all that, the two guys, they're riding their Jeep up the highway trying to get to, I think, the restaurant, Edie's restaurant or whatever, and they see this one guy doing a handstand on a skateboard rolling towards them.
Oh, fuck no.
And as he gets close, that guy flips over, pulls out his AK-47, starts at point blank range shooting at the Jeep, and it only just hits the inside of the tire well, and then the one dude in the shoulder, and he just brushes off like, oh man.
I mean,
you know what, Brad? I don't need your Blu-ray. I didn't know this was included on my 12 film girls G-strings and guns collection that I got because me and Brandon, our friend Brandon, used to watch this movie called Return to Savage Beach, and I guess it's all part of the same thing. So I own
have it already.
So I own Hard Ticket to Hawaii on DVD. Wait! But is the Blu-ray packed with special featers?
Yeah, actually, it's got some behind-the-scenes documentary stuff. Yeah.
All right, I need to get the HD version.
Yeah. I mean, HD boobs, dude.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. So that guy shoots up the Jeep.
I mean, to be in his defense, he did just transform from a handstand on a skateboard to on his feet on a skateboard while also shooting an AK-47.
That takes a lot out of you.
You know, my aim wouldn't be that great either. So
I'm not even done yet. So then the other guy who didn't get shot reaches into the back of the Jeep, pulls out a rocket launcher.
Oh, that's good.
And at point blank range, shoots that guy. And he explodes. And his body parts fly over the place. And they just brush it off like, well, 5 more minutes to get to Edie's. Something like that. I'm paraphrasing. But yeah, it was amazing. And then this whole time, there's a mutant snake eating people on the beach. That the main characters, it's not their mission, but
it happens to also be there.
But also is part of the climax. So
yes,
yeah.
Do they ride the mutant snake?
I might have to watch this on DVD tonight.
This sounds basically like a better version of Magnolia, where there's all these different storylines happening, but they all come to a climax.
So yeah,
that's amazing. Because that scene with
Definitely
the
worth
Frisbee
the
is so infamous.
Yeah, and it's not even like the tip of the iceberg.
That is so amazing.
And then the dialogue, the dialogue's awful. Like when they're boning, like what does he say?
You got like perfect nipple placement.
It sounds like something they would say, but
the doctor did a great job.
I wrote it down. What was it? Let me look it up real quick. This is how bad the dialogue is in some places. What does he say? Oh yeah, he's hitting on this girl, and he says, "One man's dream is another man's lunch," and then she says, "You son of a bitch," and then pulls him like into kiss.
I thought you were going to say, and then pulls out another AK-47. Like,
no.
Go for broke. Do the rocket launcher again.
Yeah. So yeah, then I guess Mike Myers struck a deal with Netflix, and suddenly like a bunch of his movies are on Netflix.
oh, okay.
So I rewatched Cat in the Hat
Oh shit!
for the first time since the theater.
I'm sorry.
But why?
Because I was curious, like, how is this movie
fair.
aged?
Fair.
Yeah.
Not well.
Yeah. And now that you've seen it, you know to not do it again.
Yeah, like I couldn't pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Like I'm waiting for the Paris Hilton like cameo that's completely unnecessary.
That's the least egregious thing in that fucking movie.
And I missed it.
I don't even remember that part.
Yeah. I also watched Austin Powers: The Spy Who Shagged Me, which I remember being really funny in the theater. And this time I was completely like, this is not for me. Like, none of this is funny. And then also rewatched Miami Vice, the movie version, which is just kind of a thing it exists.
What's really perplexing about that film is that there is like a giant community who thinks it's like one of the greatest films ever made. And I don't understand it.
Like it would have been more fun if they'd actually done like an 80s nostalgia thing.
Yeah.
but it's so modern, and it's just like there's a bunch of drug guys. They're doing they're undercover. They're doing their job, trying to catfish these drug dealers, and then once in a while something personal happens.
Yeah,
but it's not like a story you haven't seen a million times before.
I think that film is actually on Letterboxd's top 250, which makes no sense to me.
And the cinematography is terrible. Like, it's early digital. Like, there's like helicopter shots inside the cockpit are super grainy.
Who's this community, Henry, that proclaims Miami Vice from that year?
You can find them. Man.
I want to pick their brain
It's
if they have one
It's the
left.
Jonestown of Letterboxd.
And I also started watching Tuca and Birdie, which is
what do you think of that? I finished that.
What is it?
It's all right. It's from the people who did BoJack Horseman.
Oh, okay.
But
it's like it's a different writing staff, but it's the same like people who
animation
animate it.
style. Yeah. So it's about two, like, one's a sparrow and one's a toucan. But it's basically like modern women trying to like get through. But it every time I'm not paying attention, it's just random silliness.
Yeah.
And then suddenly I'll click in because they're actually talking about something about like women in the workplace or relationships with the boyfriend and stuff. So it had like I think BoJack Horseman, the entire episode will be about like depression or something.
Or like there'll be like a long arc of depression. They'll have like they'll contain the wackiness per an episode thing with the through line of the depression.
Yeah, but Tuca and Brady's kind of like, we're just being silly, and all
it decides it flip flops kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like in and out, so it's all right.
I mean, like what I said, like to someone else, that like the first season of BoJack Horseman wasn't great either.
Yeah,
and so I can definitely see this one picking up more steam in subsequent.
It got more deep as the show went along.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm not writing off the show, but at the same time I wasn't like in a rush to rewatch it. And then the last thing I saw, which was pretty great, was Train to Busan.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, you can read my Art House Asshole about that film. So,
how long ago was that?
It was a while ago.
Yeah,
back when I was writing them. So,
I heard great things about it. I think it's okay.
Yeah, it's alright. It's a standard like Korean kind of.
Yeah, for a zombie movie, I appreciated that at least finally many of the characters are smart. About it.
Yeah.
But also, there wasn't any like a ton of new stuff added to it's cool that it's a lot of it's on the train, but a lot of the entire arc of the story is the standard zombie story. Like we gotta get from one place, dangerous place, to the safe place, and everyone gets picked off along the way.
It is a very well made zombie film, but it doesn't really add anything to the zombie genre.
Yeah. So like I remember Mark Bernardin just praising it, and I was like, oh cool, I'm gonna see something pretty different. And other than like that whole sequence where they start to figure out like the zombies can't see in the dark. So they like climb along the baggage thing, or when they start to time their switching cars while they're under the tunnels, like that stuff's great. And there's you really feel for the characters when they start to get picked off and things, but but then you're like, all the other passengers are like, that's still fucking stupid.
No, I mean,
why would you do that? So that's what I watched this week.
Awesome. We saw 2 movies this week.
Did we want to do Blu-rays?
Oh yeah, I forgot we didn't do that. This was coming out on Blu-ray.
DVD releases and Blu-rays.
The big release of the week is Double Impact, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme. You can pick that up from MVD
or my mailbox.
Oh!
You laugh, but somebody's going to rob you now. But
good luck.
Yeah, it's in the post office.
I can roundhouse kick and do the splits.
Sweet.
But again,
and dance.
But apparently, it comes with a bunch of special features, as I learned today. I didn't realize MVD was a thing, and then the Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, I guess, is on their listing too. The big new release, though, is Greta, I guess, from this year, which had Chloe Grace Moretz and Isabelle Huppert. Did you see this, Henry?
I saw it.
Was it okay?
Yeah.
Oh.
In a scale of 1 to 5, it's
I think I gave it a 2.
Okay.
So
fair. Right on. Criterion's putting out Blue Velvet, so you can pick that up.
My movie!
Blue Velvet's pretty good.
that is a movie.
Severin's putting out The Uncanny, which, if you don't know from a really fun early DVD cover that they've apparently brought over to the Blu-ray, is Peter Cushing being scared by a cat. But it's not like very elegant artwork like they've done in the past for other rights. Severin just decided, nope, we've got to Photoshop this cat next to Peter Cushing. It's really the best Peter Cushing Photoshop job since Rogue One.
Oh.
And I lied. There's also a film from this year, or I guess also technically last year, which is Gaspar Noé's Climax, which Brad talked about. So hear his review first and then find out if you want to see Climax. Shout Select is putting out To Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar, which is a film with Patrick Swayze, Wesley Snipes, and John Leguizamo. You can check that out. Boom with Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton. So if you want to watch those people make love, go right ahead. Scream Factory's putting out When a Stranger Calls Back, which is Carol Kane and Charles Durning. It's a sequel to a better movie. I guess Sony Pictures Classic is re-releasing The Three Burials of Melquias Estrada, which is Tommy Lee Jones's directed film. So I didn't know if this was a brand new. They'd never done this before. And it looks like Steel Magnolias as well. Criterion's also putting out One Sings, the Other Does Not from the late Agnes Varda, so you can check that out. On the TV front, we got South Park season
22.
22, yep. So you can pick
I totally forgot it was coming out today, and now I got to see if it's even in the store.
And also on the TV front, you can pick up Outlander season 4. There's a standard edition, and there's apparently a collector's edition, so you can check that out.
That's time travel fuck film.
Yeah. That's fucking time travel.
Time travel fuck TV show, you mean?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, same thing. It's on Stars.
Yeah.
One of them has a bigger budget.
Yeah. Scream Factory's also putting out The Alligator People.
Just in time for Crawl to come out in theaters in a couple weeks.
I can't wait to see that.
I am so fucking excited for that
It
film.
looks wonderful. I like when Aja does silly fish movies. Like he did
I like when
Piranha
he does
film.
horror because he doesn't give a fuck and it's going to be gory as hell.
Oh, yeah.
And he's going to have Sam Raimi going, shoot it faster.
He's not directing anymore. He's just producing at this point, right?
That bums me out.
Yeah.
He hasn't directed anything. Well, he did one episode of Ash versus Evil Dead.
Right.
He hasn't directed anything since Oz.
Well, he has to take care of his garden, you know.
Make enough money off Spider-Man. And I mean, he made, $50 million for Spider-Man 4 not to be made.
If that interview that I heard with him on Nerdist is true, then he must have the best fucking garden because it seems like he spends a lot of time in it. Warner Archive put out Patch of Blue with Sidney Poitier and Shelley Winters. Check that one out. And then a couple Lana Turner movies coming to Kilo Lobo are Madame X and Portrait in Black. And Warner Archive is also putting out The Golden Arrow, so you can check that one out. It's got Tab Hunter in it. Another Tab Hunter movie got a limited release this week called Lust in the Dust, which is a movie he did with Divine that wasn't made by John Waters. So you can also take a look at that one. And then lastly, Scorpion Releasing is bringing to you The Happy Hooker Goes Hollywood, which if you listened to Adam West speak in that episode of The Simpsons he was on, he mentioned that as one of the major highlights of his film career. So yeah, that's Blu-rays.
This week on Real Nerds Podcast, we saw 2 films. The first film we saw is a dark take on the superhero genre.
Booksmart?
Zach, should people see Brightburn?
Yeah. I think this is a good movie. I kind of wish it did more, but I also didn't. But I shouldn't have expected that much from it. Like, just given the premise itself, like how much they were going to be able to do reasonably on a small budget. That being said, though, I think it's a very bold, interesting horror flick. I think that Elizabeth Banks is amazing in the film. I think the kid's really good. I only really had one or two like minor quarrels with the film, and they have to do with the fact that I wish that there was more time in this film. Like, it's a very short film, so I almost wish I'd got like maybe 10-15 more minutes of the film. But it doesn't matter. It's still a fun flick. I'd check it out. Very dark. Very, very dark. Darker than I thought it would be.
Henry, you didn't see it?
I think it's the worst film ever made, and I will debate all of you. I haven't seen it, but I will debate all of you.
Nice. So, a strong endorsement from Henry. Brad?
Yeah, I don't know. The effects are really cool. It's got some really cool tension moments. But the story is just kind of like no one has an arc. Like, it's just kind of like, literally, what if someone with the powers of Superman was evil, and you kind of see that play out, and then it's violent, and that's cool, but story-wise, didn't care for the kid, didn't really, felt a little bad for the family, but not sure what I was supposed to get out of it other than like, dude, that guy's jaw's missing. Cool.
I fucking love this movie.
You would.
Yeah, because, actually it kind of reminds me of a slasher film if the slasher had superhuman strength.
Yeah.
Because there's we'll talk about it later, but there's a great moment in it that just reminded me of slasher cat and mouse stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree. I think Elizabeth Banks is amazing in this film. I miss her because, she's directing a lot and that's great, but you kind of miss her in front of the camera because I think you're really drawn to her.
And not just doing comedies, but like she digs into this.
A woman's place is behind the camera.
Yeah. And then then Roy from The Office is pretty good. But no, I think this movie was awesome, and it had it was dark, and I actually didn't mind the length because I think it said what it needed to say. And there's also a great Easter egg at the end, if you could catch it.
Oh yeah.
Sam Jackson comes and goes, Brightburn, I would like to recruit you into the Dark Avengers.
That'd be awesome. But no, so here's a trailer for Brightburn.
Mom, who am I? You are a gift. We believe that you came here for a reason. I know it's been difficult for you lately, that you feel different from other kids.
Touch the floor, Brian!
You are different.
Caitlin, get my hand up.
He's a creep.
Help him up.
What are you doing?
I want him in handcuffs and I want him gone. Do you even know who his real mother is?
I'm his real mother.
Let's go.
Maybe there is something wrong with Brandon.
I will never turn against our son.
He's not our son.
Hey, who's messing with me?
Something wrong?
Boy around by chance?
You're one of the only people in the world that knows how special I am.
There are believed to be no survivors among the 268 passengers on board.
No, no, no!
Whatever you've done, I know there is good inside you.
Tori! You're safe now. We got
I want to do good, Mom. I do.
Yeah, I mean, Brightburn is basically a twist on the Superman mythos. If someone crashed to Earth and had super powers, would they be a good person or would they be a bad person? What would happen if that person was bad? And it veers a little bit, I think, because people were... I know I was reading articles saying, well, why would DC let them do this? It's not quite the Superman thing. I mean, he's basically... in the film, the little boy, Brandon, arrives on Earth and Elizabeth Banks and Roy can't... I don't even know his real name.
Actually, I looked on IMDb. He's just Mr. whatever the last name was. He doesn't have a first name.
Oh, really?
I guess she never said it in the movie.
I guess not. Anyways, they're trying to have a baby. They can't. And then a baby crash lands in their neck of the woods. And,
Mr. Breyer, that's right.
And they... so they take him in and he doesn't show any signs. And one night, the spaceship starts calling him and basically telling him to take over the world.
It's an allegory for puberty.
In the class, there's something like the teacher's talking about wasps or bees and like how that ecosystem it's basically mirroring what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
And I forgot to say, I kid you not, as soon as I left the theater and got in my car, I was like checking my phone. And I was like, oh, it's getting hot in the car here. So I rolled down the window and a bee flew in.
That's fine.
I was like, no, you get out.
Yeah, and it's just basically it chronicles his descent into being a villain. and not how he's having a place to be. And
but he's barely provoked though. Like,
well, I mean, he must be under some sort of. I got that he's under some sort of like
his programming,
or programming or something like that. Because I mean, at the beginning of the film, he loves his parents, and then he becomes super fucking dark. And
especially the stuff with like the little girl in his class, made me cringe so hard.
Oh yeah, I had to. So I went. It wasn't playing at the Alamo, so I went and saw it at.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Yeah,
I saw
no, it is. Yeah, never mind.
I saw the Littleton one.
Yeah,
Brightburn.
Yeah,
Brightburn was showing there because I remember Booksmart wasn't. And I was mad about that.
Yeah, Booksmart's at Sloan's.
The fuck. I'm looking at my app because I mean I have the season pass. I would have gone to the fucking Alamo.
Oh, look, your season pass didn't save you this time. Check and mate.
I mean, while he's checking though, I mean, like, those those scenes where he's like stalking his classmate are some of the like darkest, tensest scenes I've seen like this year. Like, just like it's really creepy.
And I think his like costume is really creepy. The mask he wears. And so, but in my theater, I saw it at Denver West and whatever. Now they assign seating, and so when I went there was 3 seats taken, and they were like so they go like A through Z or whatever it is. So they're pretty far up. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll sit in row D, 4 rows up. It's in their biggest theater besides their RPX one, and so I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, this is awesome. And like halfway through the fucking credits, one dude comes in and sits right behind me. I'm like, dude, there's like 300 seats available. He was fine though, but he actually didn't bother me. I just think it's bizarre.
When you buy your ticket, he's like, is that Ryan Frost from Real Nerds?
Oh my god, I need to sit.
I bet he said some really funny stuff during the movie.
Yeah, well, I just laugh. I just laugh because in the Mills that you're given a screen and it has every seat. Yeah. Every seat. And so there's me. I'm the only one in that bottom half of the theater.
Yeah.
There's 3 people that are 20 rows up. And you pick the seat right behind me? That's weird, right?
He's like, what's going on? Everyone knows my seat is D5 and he's in C5?
Yeah. So anyway, so I'm watching it and the guys that were like 20 rows back, I think they're really scared in the film because he was doing that laugh where he wanted people to know that he was laughing, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah, it makes sense.
When so there's a part in this is where it really reminded me of a slasher film. So he kills the dad and in a super awesome, gruesome, like using his heat vision way.
Yeah.
And then he goes to the house where the mom's at. And I actually think it's kind of shitty that he killed his mom because his mom was always really cool to him. Mm-hmm. But anyways, so he's in the house and he's attacking his mom by like flying quickly through the house. And he's chasing her through rooms, and you see his feet like hovering. I'm like, oh, this is like a slasher film. And he's murdering people left and right.
Yeah.
And so yeah, and the whole time the guy there's like, like, dude, it's not funny.
It's either that or he's getting an awkward blowjob in the back. So you never know.
I don't think so. I think he was scared, but he didn't want people with him to know that he was scared.
Yeah.
I think both our theories are valid.
Yeah, because the movie's shot really well. I think like the violence it doesn't shy away from the violence.
I was amazed how brutal it was. Like, I mean, like, I kind of wish there was more practical, but I don't think I would have needed it because it.
Well,
it makes,
jaw. I mean, that's pretty gruesome.
The jaw, but like,
sits there and just watches him die.
I think that's like a reflex with me every time I watch a horror film. Like, I wish you didn't use CGI for it, but for this one, it makes sense because of the subject you're tackling.
Too. I mean, there's some great shots in it. There's I think actually the creepiest shot is. There's Elizabeth Banks' character is hiding from him. She runs out of the house, and he like shoots up in the air, and he like stands over her, looking at her as she runs into the barn.
Yeah,
I think that's like it's composited really well, and I think it looks really creepy. And I think the thing where he just flies her up there and drops her, I think that's fucking brutal.
And then he looks at that fucking plane.
Yeah.
The scene in the diner, like before she gets into the freezer or the storage unit or whatever. That glass pops and it gets stuck in her eye, yeah. And like I know it's computer, but it was so effective that I was cringing when she's pulling that out because that's like one of those.
I think the movie's just really effective and really well done.
Yeah, I agree. I wish there was like just a little. It was a little longer, just so I could get a little bit more time with Brandon, like seeing the process he goes into becoming that. But I also understand why, when you say what you say, that you don't need it. Because
I don't think you do. I think sometimes when you explain bad guys too much, it loses something. I always the one I always point to is Jason Goes to Hell. You're giving him a huge backstory, and you're giving him all this mythology that isn't necessary. Mm-hmm. He's more terrifying if he's something that can't be killed and is coming to kill you. He's the shark in Jaws.
I don't need like explanations of his thing in the barn. I just need like more time with like how bullied was like maybe just something a little bit more. How more bullied was he, or like what was the relationship like? Because it seems like he's flirting with the little girl in class, and then suddenly next scene it turns into total terror. So it's like it feels like there's some like 2-minute scene missing, like possibly
maybe.
I mean, I liked it. The post-credit sequence with Michael Rooker and that fucking weird
Did you see
Alex
Super?
Jones bullshit. Like, it's really funny.
Oh, yeah, so when he's talking about Rainn Wilson's Super is in one of the fucking shots.
So it's part of that universe.
Yeah.
And apparently there's a sea creature and an Amazonian woman.
Oh, yeah. Definitely Aquaman and Wonder Woman.
Nice.
I want to see Alex Jones do that conspiracy theorist bullshit like in a full movie. That'd be hilarious. Like making a satire of some kind. James Gunn could do that, right?
So I loved the Super little Easter egg. I'm like, oh, shit.
Damn,
that'd be...
bummed I
If
missed
Brightburn 2 is him fighting Super, I'm fucking on board.
How would that even be fair?
It's not fair.
Like he would just be murdered.
It is a 5-minute short.
But then you'd have like Rainn Wilson's character like gear up to fight. I don't know. I'd watch it. He got touched by the hand of God, so he's pretty strong.
I guess if Super also went like he's already kind of dark, but like if he went full on murder rage, like so like he joined the.
It made me want to watch Super. I'll probably watch that sometime this week. I fucking love that movie.
I just looked at. I don't know if you guys know this, or if it was obvious. The director of this film also did the Guardians Inferno music video, which I thought was an interesting kind of thing. Yeah.
I appreciated though, like because we were talking about how it has that Superman origin. It kind of reminds me of every time you hear about Siegel and Schuster's inspiration for creating the eventual character they created an original like version-ish of Superman, not the same thing, but it's like the reign of the Superman or something like that, where it's just like it's not a good guy, it's just a guy who comes down, has all the powers, and is going to kill everybody. So it's basically a callback to that era, and like I didn't know if it would work, but I'm surprised how well it did work. You know,
like I said, I think even him killing his mom was like super shitty because she says throughout the whole film, "You're a blessing," and no matter what you do, and it's a pretty dark turn, and it works well. Yeah, that's Brightburn. The other movie we saw is Booksmart.
Ooh, yes.
Brad, should people see Booksmart? I skipped him because he was really excited. I want him to wait.
Nice way to punish him.
Fucking A.
Yeah, Booksmart's great. It's weird. It's actually got very much the same story beats as Superbad. A lot of similar things happen at similar times. But that's fine because they put enough of a spin on it, I think, that it makes it, very much the female perspective of that same story. So I think you should still watch it.
Cool. Henry?
Yeah, I liked it. I think it's very well written, but I think there definitely are some faults in it. But yeah, I would definitely recommend it. So,
Zach?
Yeah, I really like this movie a lot. It's one of the best films I've seen this year. I think Deaver and Feldstein are really fucking great. I really like their characters together. It's kind of the same way I felt about Jonah Hill and Michael Cera in Superbad, where I'm just like, I love these guys. I want to see them do more things, like have more adventures. And Billy Lord as Gigi is one of my favorite characters in a movie this year. It's really well written, well directed. It's got a lot of heart to it that I wasn't like. I think even more heart than Superbad has, and I like that it kind of helped me connect with those characters in a broader way. So, yeah, I would absolutely go see Booksmart.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite films of the year too. I think the characters are really funny. I think it's just a really fun movie to watch and see the characters and all their little moments that they had. And I mean, the audience I saw it with loved it. So
yeah.
It was really fun.
How packed was yours? Because mine was small, unfortunately.
Mine has actually had a few people.
I was like me and 2 other people in mine, and like I mean, but thankfully we were all fucking laughing, so we weren't all crazy. But like,
yeah, no, it was fun.
Yeah,
I saw it at 10 a.m. At Sloan's Lake.
That might explain why there weren't a lot of people there. So
it's all right. Box office numbers doesn't mean it's not a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a trailer for Booksmart.
Good morning, winner. Take a deep breath. Visualize the mountain of your success and look down at everyone who's ever doubted you. Fuck those losers. Fuck them in their stupid fucking faces.
Oh shit! Are we gonna go to school or? No.
What's 2 + 2?
Isn't it crazy that it's the last day of school? Are you kidding me, Samantha? Go talk to her. She's got a really cute smile. Amy, do you know how many girls are gonna be up your vagina next year? Every time I come to visit you, you're gonna be scissoring a different girl. Dude, scissoring is not a thing. Don't knock it until you've tried it. Don't knock it until you've tried it. Ow!
It's the last day. We got you through high school.
I need to go over the end of the year budget numbers.
Can't we just graduate, head off to college? That should do it, right?
We will persist.
I can't hear you. I can't soundproof glass.
We have to go to a party tonight. What? Nobody knows that we are fun. We didn't party because we wanted to focus on school and get into good colleges. And it worked. But the irresponsible people who partied also got into those colleges.
I'm incredible at hand jobs, but I also got a 1560 on the SATs.
We haven't done anything. We haven't broken any rules. Name one person whose life was so much better because they broke a couple of rules. Picasso. He broke art rules. Rosa Parks. Name another one. Susan B. Anthony. God damn it.
Picture this, I'm a bag of dicks, put me to your lips.
Hand sanitizer. Check. Chapstick. Check. Mace. Listen, it is very important that you keep the safety. Oh! The safety on! Don't touch your eyes!
What the fuck is this?
Me ask the questions!
Oh my god. But what can I say?
Well, that seems excessive. Shotgun. Just kidding. I don't have one.
Don't say we're having a date night. Why? It's funny your parents think we're boning.
What you two have is special.
We are going to show each other how much we care about each other.
We'll probably just do a Korean face mask.
I don't need to know all the words.
You seem surprised that I said that it had the same story beats as Superbad.
Not surprised. I think there's
it's like
similarities. I think
it's like the last day of school.
Mm-hmm.
Their goal is to go to a party. They have to take public transportation at a lot of points. The girl throws up on the other girl at the end that she's trying to get with, like Becca in Superbad. Like, they have a fight and they break up a little bit and they come back together.
But this film has enough of an identity to separate itself out. Like, I mean, like a lot of films of this genre have similar beats to a certain extent.
They're also going to different colleges and they don't know it until the truth comes out.
No, they know they're going. She didn't know she was going for a year, though.
Yeah, it's a gap year thing.
It's the same story beats, though.
Yeah, they just change everything a little bit. Yeah.
I mean, that's like my only big complaint is that, like, it's very predictable and it follows the same kind of structure for a lot of it. Like, I just had some of my kind of, like, all right, kind of writing points, like the whole, like, drugs not kicking in until they know they're on drugs type thing. Just that kind of being, we're like, okay, we've seen it, okay. There's a lot of that kind of like predictableness to it that I wasn't that big of a fan.
There's a karaoke session where the one girl has to get up and sing, which like Michael Cera had to during the party. Yeah, and
it's like I think it's different enough from Superbad to I don't like the comparison of saying it's just the female Superbad.
Yeah, because I think that's disingenuous.
But I do think it's less that it's a female Superbad. It's more that it's just another teen comedy, and so.
Well, Caitlin Dever liked my tweet, so fuck all of you guys. But no, it's fun. You know, when you're introduced to the characters, and you know, when she comes out and they're all dancing, and then it cuts to the no music thing, like they did in Endgame. I think is always funny.
Yeah,
and you know the line of "Should we stop? No, we're not going to school." It's pretty fun. I think Sudeikis says the principal is awesome when he picks him up in the lift.
Watch porn in his car. Yeah,
and we're meeting Jordan. Oh fuck!
The part where they get stuck at the pizza place and they like try to get a ride with the pizza delivery guy, and he turns out to be a serial killer,
the actual strangler.
Yeah,
because that's even funny. He's like, "What's wrong with you? Do you even know me?"
yeah. Can
you give
us we get a ride?
Can you get a ride? Yeah, okay. No, of course not.
What's wrong with
Be
you?
aware.
He's basically telling him what he's going to do to him. Yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah, because they also had those silly comedy moments that aren't true to life. like, brought up Gigi, where like, what are you doing here, and how are you not wet?
Gigi is like a magical fairy character that I absolutely freaking loved.
Yeah,
and also when what's her friend's name? The one that Feldstein gets with at the end of the movie.
I forget.
He's the guy who's got all of his like T-shirts with his face on it.
The
but
rich kid.
he explains to her why Gigi's a good person, and like without giving Gigi like a monologue, he explains, and it just says enough about the character to make that character likable on top of all the other likable characters you get in the film. I really liked Deaver's character in the movie, and kind of like how she's navigating through finding love. And Feldstein's character, I think. One of my favorite scenes is when they're outside. I think it's after the murder mystery party when they're talking about the vice president that she's attracted to but won't admit. And then she kind of like doubts herself. And then like I think it's Deaver smacks herself in the face and says like don't you ever talk about like that? Talk yourself like that again. If you talk about my best friend that way, I'm going to smack you. It was a really nice, sweet moment. And I'm very impressed by how much heart it has, and it's very like intimately directed. When Deaver finds out that the girl she likes is straight, and she's navigating through the pool like while it's like shooting through the pool, I thought it was a great direction. So, it's a really great film.
It's really smart though how they did that, because it's the Ryan character is the only one that does not have white underwear. And they really establish that when she jumps in, and then that's the reveal. So pretty smart. Well, I also really like just how it's written, how you meet all of the characters in the opening scene, basically in the last day of school, and you just see them come back up throughout the. So like by the time we got to the third party, I was like, all right, how are these characters going to come back in now? And so.
This is from when I was living in Barcelona. When I lived in Barcelona.
Also, like, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I really like how, you can tell, it's such a great ensemble. Like, all of the high school kids, I think, do a great job. Mm-hmm. And you can tell, because that's the first person they credit in the credits is the casting director.
Yeah.
And I thought that was good. I think AAA was great. I thought,
she has a great, moment, too, with, I can't think of Feldstein's character's name off the top of my head.
Yeah,
they have a great moment. She picks her up on the side of the road.
Yeah,
and where she drives by and she rolls her eyes. She's like, "Really?
Yeah.
Come on."
It's very well made and well put together. I really enjoyed it.
It's always hard to talk about comedies, but it's a fun movie.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, don't want to repeat the jokes. Let them go see them for themselves. But I like the doll scene too. The doll scene was very imaginative and well animated.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah. And then her parents, like they're like they have all the names for the different foods, and like
my God,
Will Forte's all bummed out when
holy shit,
Will Forte needs to be in more movies.
The panda. The panda at the very end of the movie before, oh my God, they're like hugging it and shit. Like, that was a great fucking moment. Will Forte's a good dad.
I was reading about the film. One thing I thought was interesting is that apparently the Gigi character was not supposed to show up in the film after the boat scene, but they liked her They liked her performance, which they wrote her into into all the rest of the scenes.
One of my favorite shots in the movie is when they're in the closet just before they find out they're on drugs, and she just looks like she's like a mystic about to take their fucking fortune. Like,
it drove me nuts the whole movie. I was like, who is that? Like, she looks so familiar.
Yeah.
And then it was like, thank you, credits.
It's pretty much every single one of the high school students, actors, has been in like one film, except for two of them, and so which is their first film, and so
good stuff. Good job, Olivia Wilde.
Yeah,
she has I think she's going to have a promising career if the acting thing doesn't work out for her.
Yeah.
There was an interview that she did with Sunday Morning with Willie Geist, and apparently she told her her kid only knows that she's a director. He doesn't know that she's an actress. So now he assumes that only women direct movies.
That's
and I think that's awesome.
Good. Next week we're going to be seeing Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Woo! Monster fights. I'm always down for. Unless you want to see Ma.
Oh my God, Zilla.
Yep. Yeah. See you at Denver Pop Culture Con. Almost said Con. See you at Denver Pop Culture Con. See us at booth 102. Pick up your pint glass. Pick up your T-shirt.
Be sure to bid on me in the Night with Jarvis.
Yes.
What does the Night with Jarvis consist of?
It's whatever you want,
Jarvis
baby.
makes a world
girl. And don't forget, Saturday at 5:30, we will be doing a panel celebrating the year 1989 in film.
That's
or
right.
no, I guess in pop culture in general.
Pop culture.
Yeah.
No, I billed it as 1989.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah,
said
pop
cinema.
culture.
Yeah.
No,
We're doing
I said cinema, and then I changed it to just pop culture in the year 9.
Mostly cinema.
Yeah.
Pop culture at Pop Culture Con.
Uh-huh.
See you there. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Real Nerds Podcast. Real Nerds Podcast is a production of Nebulous Visions Multimedia. Thank you to Sparks Mandrill and Plan 9 Studios for our kick-ass theme song. Also, if you're in the Denver area and you're looking for a cool place to see movies, we see them at the Alamo Draft House in Littleton and now also in Sloan's Lake. Thank you to Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics for supplying us with all our comic needs, especially you, Andrew. You know who you are. And a big shout out to James's mom. I'm giving you an electronic hug that you can feel through the airwaves. Thanks for listening, and have a nice day.